Much for everyone that has tuned in. Hi and welcome for everybody tuning in on the YouTube stream. It's so good to have you in here with us
Yeah,
today.
what's up, YouTube? How you guys doing?
Wait, your turn.
Get ready for this ass whooping.
So you can see why I started the live on YouTube now. We're gonna skip the intro. We're gonna hop right into the debates with the first Trump supporter that's gonna whoop my
All right,
ass.
let's do it.
So
Let's do
right
it.
before I started the live on YouTube, you said that Trump is the best president that America's ever had, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, I want you to whoop my ass by naming one of his policies that you like. Because if he's the best president in American history, there must be at least one, right?
Yep. Kicking out all those illegals.
Mass deportation. So, first, not technically a policy because they're only enacting the law which already exists. It's not new law. So, before we talk about mass deportation, do you want to try to name a policy? That means like a bill in which he influenced to get passed through Congress, and I'll even accept an executive order.
Lowering taxes.
Lowering taxes. So, what bill was that?
Lowering taxes.
What bill was that?
The lowering taxes bill.
The lower. When was this bill passed?
The other. Fuck, I don't know, bro. I'm trying to remember. Wait, give me 1 second.
Okay, well, while we give him a second, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen, y'all, for the first near 400 people that have tuned into the live stream over on YouTube since we just started it. Thank you so much for being here. If you missed the
thanks,
intro,
guys.
this guy's whooping my ass if you can't tell.
Yeah, bro. You guys, hey, just know that he's about to get cooked. Watch this. All right, so basically, right?
Right.
Let me tell you. Since I've been in this earth for 28 years, I've seen presidents come and go. But the one person I know who's going to stay is Trump. He's going to have a third term and a fourth.
So, according to people in the chat, you're a veteran.
That is true.
So, when you signed up to join the military, you took an oath to defend the Constitution, right?
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That's right. You know the oath. You are a veteran. That's a part of the oath. So it's unconstitutional for a president to serve more than 2 terms. It says so explicitly. We had a constitutional amendment passed to ensure that fact. So how can you tell me
Trump
that
has done things that we didn't think would be possible. So what makes you think that this wouldn't be possible now?
Well, because it was explicitly banned in accordance with the American Constitution. So how can you sit here and tell us that you want Donald Trump to serve a 3rd and a 4th term while simultaneously telling us that you're a veteran that took an oath to uphold the Constitution when the Constitution expressly and explicitly states that that would be unconstitutional?
Touche. But look, I will caveat at this one because per my calculations, 3.1456789 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
So you just responded to my argument by giving me the first 3 digits of pi, but then you forgot the rest, so you started counting from 10 to 20. I believe that we broke that guess. We are going to go to move on to the next guess at this point. If you're one of the near 7,000 people tuning into the TikTok live stream, just know that we just started the stream and today is already off to a terrible start. That guy kicked my ass. Remember that, chat. If you're MAGA and you want to come up and debate, let me know down below in that chat. Go ahead and just drop a MAGA down below. We see somebody by the name of Zane spamming MAGA in that chat. So we're going to get Zane up on the live. We got him loading in right now. Zane, what's going on? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, man.
Really, really? Are you from Britain?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're only accepting guests from America. Maybe we need to go over the ground rules once again because we have a lot of new people in here. If you want to come up and debate me, you got to be from America. You've got to be at least 18 years old and you got to support Trump. So if you're from America, at least 18, and you support Trump, go ahead and let me know that you want to come up and debate by dropping a MAGA down below in the chat. This guy's name is Gage Waits. He has 3 Bible verses in his bio. I have a feeling that if he accepts the invitation to come up on the live, he'll end up being 14 years old. But nonetheless, I did invite Gage because they were spamming MAGA in the chat. Same thing with Elias here, but it looks like Elias actually left the live rather quickly.
Hello?
Okay, well, it looks like Elias is glitched into the live. Elias, you got to re-request while we get that next guest up on the live. Right now, y'all, we're going to go to get that next guest up on the stream literally right now for the next debate with the next Trump supporter. We got a couple guests loading in. We got Design, we got Tony, we got Gabby. Honestly, we're accepting quite a few Trump supporters up here. We are really gunning for a next debate. What's up, Design and Tony? Are you guys MAGA?
Yo, where's the anxiety pen?
The anxiety pin is in my hand. Get out of here, buddy. Design, are you MAGA? Okay, well, design isn't even here. What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, I am.
And how old are you?
18.
Well, you about said 16, so I don't believe you. Well, I don't know. I don't understand why you guys are breaking my rules, okay? The rules are simple. The rules are simple. If you're going to be spamming MAGA in that chat, be at least 18. That's all. That's all that I ask. That's all that I ask. What's going on? Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am MAGA.
All right, man. Before we start our debate, I really got to thank Randy, that is Randi, for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Randy, thank you so much for the love. That's insane. Can we get 500 W Randys while we're hopping into this next debate? Thank you so much for the love. That is so incredibly kind of you. But take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because I like his policies.
All
Like
right.
that one policy with the tariffs. I like the tariffs. That's not a policy, but
Ooh.
the policies that with the women's and men's sports,
Okay.
like the transgender.
Okay.
I really like that
So,
policy.
so you voted for the fascists because you don't like 0.1% of our population that hasn't hurt, harm, or affected you whatsoever. Okay. Did you know that more women have accused Trump of raping them, and he's been convicted of more felonies than there is trans women competing in the NCAA? Did you know that?
I did not know that,
Now you
but
do. Now you do. And like when you tell us that, you're willing to kind of throw the country out the window, scratch off the Constitution, just eradicate it, get it out of here, because of trans women and women's sports. From your perspective, this just kind of means that you're like a crusader women's rights. You're willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that women's rights are protected under your view, right?
yeah, I mean, I feel like they should have rights. It's like,
Right.
but I feel
So
they're-
how'd you feel if like there was like a cis man that walked into a women's bathroom or changing room to like perv on them while they were naked? And keep in mind, like maybe the women or teenagers changing in this changing room that are naked while this man's perving on them are like 15 through 18. Like how'd that make you feel?
that would be really weird, to be honest. I mean,
That'd be really weird. It'd be really wrong. So what if like a 50-year-old man did this, perved on half-naked teenagers while they were changing, okay? And then he like ran for public office. Would you ever vote for that man since, you really care about women's rights and all?
no.
You would never vote for this man. What if this man was Trump?
Well, I don't. So the things that Trump did that he was like convicted of.
Well, this has nothing to do with his felony convictions or even the civil court where he was held liable for rape. I'm just simply asking you a hypothetical. I'll repeat the hypothetical. If
Okay,
Donald Trump perved on half-naked changing teenage girls in like in a locker room or changing room, would you ever support him? Would you stop supporting him right now if I gave you certain evidence this is something he's done?
If there was enough evidence and if it was like completely 100% true, no.
No takesy backsies. Let's go ahead and roll the clip, everybody. This is Donald Trump speaking on Howard Stern's radio show in 2005. Let's take a look.
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
That's not right, to be honest.
Okay, so you're no longer a supporter of Trump. I've changed your mind, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you actually did say that before I played you the clip. You said if I gave you certain evidence this is something he's done, you'd stop supporting him right here, right now. And then I even said no takesy backsies before I rolled the clip, and you didn't contest that either. But seemingly now you're taking it back.
Well, I don't know. I
Well,
I don't.
I do know that if you do anything other than denounce your support for Trump right now, you are contradicting what you said less than 60 seconds ago.
I mean, you're right, yeah, but I still would support Trump because
Right. And isn't this an interesting phenomenon? What do we see? We see a man who is willing to admit that he only holds hypothetical red lines against Donald Trump. He's willing to virtue signal and say that he would support or stop supporting Donald Trump if Donald Trump did something sufficiently wrong. But the moment he learns it's something that Trump's actually done, he takes it back, he contradicts that message, and he revokes and removes the red line.
I mean, that's not what
Do you
I'm
feel like
saying,
that's
though.
dangerous for America to hold no red lines against the president? To remove all accountability from the most powerful person in this country?
No, I don't think that's good.
Right, but that's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. You hold no red lines against him. There's nothing that Trump could do that would lead to you revoking your support from himself, and you can't convince me otherwise. You might have been able to convince me otherwise if you stayed true to your word and you denounced Donald Trump right now like you said you would if I provided you certain evidence he perved on half-naked changing teenage girls. But guess what? Now, was that just you virtue signaling? Were you just saying that because it sounds right, not because you actually believed it?
No, I don't. Maybe I'm gonna do more research on that topic, but
I mean, there's no more research to do. I just played you a clip of Donald Trump boasting about it. But seriously, please explain to us why you said you would stop supporting Trump if I could prove to you that he perved on changing naked teenage girls. But then when I did prove it to you, you still support him. Why did you even say that in the first place if it just wasn't true?
I don't know. Maybe I might stop supporting him. It's just the policies he has and the way his country's going that he's president is really great. But then I don't. So I support him like as a political leader, but not as a person. I don't agree with him as a person at all.
Is there anything that Donald Trump could do that would lead to you revoking your support from him? Is there anything that you could think of?
As a person or politically,
Either, both.
I think it would be more politically.
So there's nothing that he could do as a person that would ever lead to you revoking your support. There's nothing, really?
No, there would be.
Really? So even if he was a child rapist, you'd still support him?
No.
So you want to support him if he was a child rapist?
Yeah.
That would be a red line. What if he was an adult rapist?
Adult. I wouldn't support him either.
Really? I don't believe that. I mean, he was held civilly
But
liable
there's-
for raping an adult woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll. A unanimous
Yeah,
jury
but-
of 9 determined that he was guilty of raping her. So
Yeah,
are we going to do that thing
yeah,
again
but-
where you
No,
tell me
listen,
that
listen,
you hold a
listen.
red line against Trump, that you'd stop supporting him if he was a rapist? Just like earlier you said that you'd stop supporting him if he walked into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. But then
Okay,
when you
but
learn that he's a
again, she
rapist
said
because it was adjudicated in court, you're still going to support him? Is that what we're going to do?
But again, she said that he raped him as soon as
Great.
he got elected as president.
So she actually said that he raped her in the 90s, and she didn't even come out with this until 2019, which was 2.5 years after he was elected in 2016. So you're wrong.
Yeah, you can listen to what Charlie Kirk said though. But he literally, why
so,
would
so
Trump
you think that
need to be
Charlie
the
Kirk
US?
has a good argument against it? Okay,
I think
well,
Charlie Kirk has a great argument
so
against it.
what's that great argument? Let's hear it.
That he's one of the richest men in the world. He has
the
a
richest men in the
supermodel wife,
Supermodel wife.
and what would he need to grape that female for?
Oh, okay. So, by the way, I just want to put it out there. You're basically saying if there's a man with a lot of money, he could never be guilty of rape. Hey, how much was Diddy worth?
No idea.
He was a multimillionaire. What about Epstein? I mean, he only owned a $40 million floating private island. So Epstein's also innocent, right?
No,
But he's a really rich man.
he is.
Right. Well, what reason would he have to grape anybody since he's a really rich man? Isn't this what you just said about Trump?
No, I mean yes,
No, really.
but
It
again,
is what you just said about Trump. See my point. See how your logic here would imply that not only is Trump innocent, but so is Diddy and Epstein. Like, come on, that's not logic. That's preferable. Okay, that's bad logic.
okay.
So then, what's the argument?
I mean, I'm just saying that as soon as he ran for president and he started starting his campaign again, she came out and said that he raped her.
Okay, well, that's not true either. What action, what event or series of events led to her suing him?
Wait, say again?
What series of events led to E. Jean Carroll suing him for rape?
Wasn't it the... Wait, say again? I'm not
What
understanding.
series of events led to the victim, E. Jean Carroll, suing Donald Trump for raping her?
What series of events?
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking. Michelle, thank you for the galaxy. It's good to see you.
And I'm not understanding what you're meaning by that.
I'm asking what happened that finally broke, that finally broke her silence and led to her being public about the fact that she was great by Donald Trump and caused her to pursue litigation against Trump for it.
Because he started running for president again, he wanted to ruin.
No, that's actually not true. That's actually not true. So the final straw that broke the camel's back that caused her to break her silence and take him to court was him publicly defaming her, actually. So funny enough, the court proceedings started as a defamation case. So she sued him because he called her crazy and said that he's never raped her. Okay? She sued him for defamation. Okay? But then she threw on top of that a lawsuit for the actual grape in of itself, because she was like, well, in order to sue him for defaming her, saying that he never graped her and she's crazy, she recognized that she'd just also have to prove that he graped her in order for a jury to uphold the idea that what he was saying was a lie. So then she started a simultaneous suit for grape specifically, and he was found guilty on both counts. See how like you're just finding different miscellaneous ways to try to blame the victim, but ultimately it won't work because you live in a fairy tale Delulu land.
I mean, I should do more research on that topic, but I should do more research, to be honest. But
That's great. So we've talked
You
about
know.
a lot of things about Trump that you need to do
I'm
more
not trying to
research on,
be
and I
just
think
like-
that's fair. So what about him? Have you done your research on that has led you to your conclusions about supporting him? Like what does he do that really makes you like the guy? Let's hear it. Take it away.
So what I really like about him is, so with the tariffs, that when he's doing with the tariffs is, it's with the China tariffs though, I don't agree with that because they lowered the tariffs, but it's like the same thing that used to be before.
Okay, so
And-
what do you support about the tariffs? Let's hear it. I'd love to hear you out. What about the tariffs do you really like? Because see, from my perspective, the only real outcome that he got was a slightly better trade deal with China, which you just said you didn't like. I mean, what else happened? He imposed blanket tariffs on every other country in the world, and then he revoked them like less than a week later. And the fallout of this like short-term little insertion of tariffs was a 7% drop in the American stock markets, negative GDP growth for the first quarter of this year, stagnation in investment in American manufacturing, a reduction in consumer confidence, and a prediction of a recession until the tariffs were revoked. I mean, what about this is likable? What about that screams
It's
America's
bringing
back,
businesses to
baby?
the U.S.
It's bringing businesses to the U.S. So that's not true because remember the tariffs were short term, they were temporary. In order for tariffs to drive businesses to move to America, they'd have to be long term and permanent.
They're short term.
Yeah, he revoked them all in less than 2 weeks. Remember how he imposed tariffs on Liberation Day, April 2nd, but then like 2 weeks later he said, never mind, we're putting them all on pause. Remember that? And I mean, you
Oh,
even
yeah.
said it yourself about the tariffs with China. Like he raised them for a while, but then he was able to just essentially reduce our tariffs back to what they were, and he got them to reduce their tariffs back to what they were. See how all of these tariffs were super like temporary? You know, you're not going to have businesses spending billions of dollars in 3 to 6 years building manufacturing plants in America because of these tariffs that don't even exist as we speak.
But then again, he's trying to crash the market on purpose
Now, why would that be a good thing?
so that people pull out of the market and then put it in treasury bonds.
So more people are buying bonds?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So
then
more
that's
more people do buy bonds when the market is unstable. And how does that justify the market being unstable and crashing?
Because we have to pay a debt soon within, I think it's
We-
8 or
we-
9 months.
We got to pay a debt soon. Okay.
Yes.
So how does buying more bonds relate to us paying off debt?
I don't know.
So you don't even know what the fuck you're saying.
No,
Like-
I know what I'm saying.
So then you just said that you don't. How does him intentionally crashing the market so more people buy bonds relate to us having debt that we are supposed to be paying off soon?
Say again?
I'm asking you about your argument. You said that he intentionally crashed the market so more people went and bought bonds, and this was a good thing because we have to pay off debt soon. Well, how does people buying bonds relate to this debt that we got to pay off soon?
I don't know.
Okay. So then you just don't know your own argument, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So you didn't know about the walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. You needed to do more research on the Great Case. And then I was like, well, man, is there anything that Trump has done that you do support that makes you MAGA? And then you're like, sure, I love his tariffs. And then I was able to kind of get you to move on from that. You pivoted, which was fine by me. I don't mind people when they pivot, when they've like lost an argument. That's fine. No, I'm not going to contest that. That's A-okay. So then you started talking about how it's a good thing that he intentionally crashed the market. I asked you 3 questions, and then all of a sudden you're at a point where you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place, and you tell us that you don't even know the own argument. Well, I mean, is there an argument that you do know that you'd like to give me?
My brain kind of went dead right now. Hold on.
No worries, man. Hey, man, how about this? I would really appreciate it if you did your research, man.
Yeah.
Join the bright side. Move away from supporting the fascists. I appreciate you for your time. I'm going to move on to the next guest.
All right, man.
If you're watching live on TikTok and you are MAGA and you'd like to come up and debate, let me know down below in that chat right now. We will get you up here, everybody. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Also, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. We're almost at 1 million likes. Let's try to get to 2 million. What's up, Curtis? How old are you?
Okay, my father is a Trump supporter. I'm gonna like pull him up right here. He's like a diehard. Yo, Dad, you support Trump, right?
Why?
No. Here, talk to this guy. He'll prove you wrong. He'll prove you wrong on why Trump is a good president.
Who is this guy?
Hi.
His name is Dean.
Hello, Curtis's father. My name is Dean, okay? And I believe that Trump is a bad president. It looks like Curtis, would be interested in seeing you have a conversation with me about politics. And this is a good idea. This is a good idea, sir. Isn't it? It's a great thing to uphold intellectualism and education and have these critical conversations in front of your children to set a good example. But I'm hearing here that you support Trump. Would you mind telling me why?
I'm a Kamala supporter. He supports Trump.
I don't doubt that, Curtis. I'm talking to Curtis's dad. Curtis's dad, why do you support Trump, man?
Because he cares about his constituents.
He cares about his constituents. If Donald Trump cared about his constituents, the American people, how come he's stealing money from 80% of his constituents and giving it to the richest among us? There is a study done by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, which tells us that this big, beautiful bill that he's trying to get passed through the Senate right now decreases the after-tax income for the bottom 80% of Americans, which probabilistically speaking includes you and your family. Meanwhile, it increases the after-tax income for the top 20% of Americans. That does not sound like caring for the average American to me.
Actually, it's not true, what you just said.
Okay, well, if it's not true, that must mean that you have some compelling reason to say it's not true. What is that compelling reason to contest the last claim I made?
The compelling reason, you need to look into the bill that currently is in Congress.
Right. Well, I have, and so has Elon Musk. When Elon Musk looked into it, he said this is a terrible bill that is going to completely demolish everything I've been trying to do for this country through Doge, and he condemned it, and now he's backed away from politics because it spends $3.8 trillion. So Elon Musk, Donald Trump's right-hand guy, agrees with me on this subject.
Well, I looked at the bill. There are no significant changes from the previous bill.
From the previous tax cuts. Well, it only just makes the previous tax cuts worse
But,
because remember, the tax code we were under for the last 4 years was also Trump's. And once again, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities would tell us that there is a big change. Okay, I'd say that decreasing the after-tax income on average by $2,200 for the bottom 20% of income earners in this country is definitely a big change.
And how did you come up with that amount?
Well, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities did a study and which yielded that conclusion.
Okay. That may be right or may be wrong. But I looked through the proposed bill, and he's actually increasing qualified business income deduction for a small business. He's increasing standard deduction, and he brought back the income tax deduction.
So I'm not led to believe that he's increasing any deduction for small businesses. The only thing that he's increasing on small businesses is how much they pay in corporate taxes. Before the introduction of his first round of tax cuts, we had a staggered corporate tax rate, meaning that all revenue generated by businesses below $50,000, you only paid a 15% corporate tax rate on that. After Donald Trump passed his first round of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2018, what happened was he switched out that progressive corporate tax rate with a flat corporate tax rate, meaning those small businesses went from paying a 15% corporate tax rate to a 21% corporate tax rate.
Yeah, but there was a higher tax rate at that time also.
There's a higher corporate tax rate. Not on small businesses, because remember, they only pay that 15%.
Depending, on the bottom line, on the net income.
Hold up, pause. My phone's at 2%. I'm gonna go run up and grab a charger. I'm gonna mute myself. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. He's like fucking insane.
Well, okay, how about this? I don't want to start conflict between you and your dad. I'm gonna go to move on to the next guest. Go charge that phone. I appreciate you for letting me talk to your dad. I don't want to piss his dad off and have him possibly take it out on the son by talking about politics. The son calling him fucking insane. I don't want to be responsible for that. So we're gonna go to move on to the next guest. What's up, Victor? How old are you? Victor's
What's going on, my man?
Oh, Victor is here.
I'm 33.
Nice, dude. Are you MAGA?
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, that's terrible. Ew. Ew. Okay, I'm sorry. That was theatrical. Okay, before we hop into a debate, let me thank a couple people. Connor, what's going on, dude? Thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. Connor says, hi, Dean. What's up, Connor? Hope you're doing well. Let's get 100 W's for Connor in the chat, as well as MC with a $15 saying hypocrites wildin'. They're always wildin'. Thank you for the $15, MC. Shout out MC down below in that chat. Then Cora with a 5. Thank you so much. And Sundial Farms with the $50 over on PayPal says political education, interested in hearing more on Doge. I'm sure that Doge will come up a lot today. There's been some recent news about Elon Musk. I'm sure it will pop up. Thank you for the $50 donation, Sundial. Can we get 500 Sundial W's while we're hopping into this debate with Victor? That's seriously so kind. Huge shout out to Sundial. But Victor, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump, bro.
I voted for Trump because crypto and because he crashed the market and gave everybody an opportunity to buy in and make a lot of money.
Oh, that's right, Victor.
If you think otherwise, you just can't see everything in real time.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's so true. When you crash American stock markets, you get the best buying opportunity
If you buy crypto
in
now,
years.
Yes.
But did you know that crashing?
So why would you hate the man?
For sure. Let me tell you. First of all, crashing the stock market so you could buy at a low price is actually illegal. So that's considered market manipulation, which is a form of fraud.
Can you buy it?
Now, before you interrupt me, let me finish.
Okay.
So apart from crashing the market, no, you're going to let me finish, Victor. You could speak as soon as I'm done. So apart from crashing the market for that purpose, just being literally defined as fraud, we also have to keep this in mind. We always see American markets crash during recessions. Okay, what is the best example of this? When did American markets crash the most because of a recession? Back in the 1920s and 30s during the Great Depression. So it's funny because sure, your logic justifies that Donald Trump is a great president because he crashed the markets and gave you a buying opportunity, but it also entails the conclusion that the Great Depression was awesome. Are you okay with accepting that conclusion? Are you okay with defending the Great Depression?
No, because we're not going to a Great Depression. That's just what you assume. That's what you think.
I never said we were
But if
going
you
into a
look, you can
second
see
Great
that we all have
Depression.
an opportunity
I
to
said
buy
that your
crypto.
logic justifies the Great Depression that already happened 100 years ago.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does, because what
Just because
happened
the
during the
stock
Great
market crashed
Depression?
doesn't
The
mean
stock market crash, everyone got a great buying opportunity, and then it rebounded it later. You know, that's what you're saying is a good thing that Trump has done.
yeah, crash the stock market so we can all get an opportunity to buy in. Yes.
What? Name a better opportunity to
Are
buy
stocks
into the
not on
American...
sale? Is crypto not on sale?
Name a better buying opportunity in the American stock market than the Great Depression. Can you name a better one?
Well, this isn't the Great Depression. That's just an example that you're using to try to manipulate people's minds into thinking that.
Can
But
we
it's not
agree?
true.
Can we agree that the Great Depression was a great buying opportunity for people with money? Can we agree?
Well, yeah, but that's a totally different example. That's completely different.
Wow. So
If we were in the Great Depression,
see how your
why are
logic
stocks-
justifies
Look.
the Great Depression here because of how great of a buying opportunity it was, and that's not the only example. Your logic also justifies COVID-19 that killed millions of people because guess what? It crashed the American stock markets. Your logic justifies the recession of '08 because guess what? It was a great buying opportunity. So there's a lot of bad things that have a silver lining for few, but serve as a detriment to many. And recessions are a great example. Recessions serve as a detriment to 95% of people alive. But for that 5% that has money that they could use to take advantage of that recession, benefit greatly. So that's why during recessions, we see income inequality grow. We see it grow because the average American is hurt. The average American is harmed. Their quality of life goes down. But guess what? If you have money in the piggy bank and you know that you could take that money and throw it into the markets to make a couple bucks, guess what? You're going to come out of that recession better than you were before we went into it. But that doesn't justify the recession. That doesn't justify the crashes in the stock markets, because if it did, well, you'd have to defend the Great Recession. You'd have to defend the recession of 2008. You'd have to defend the pandemic for causing what was a near recession in 2022, as well as you'd have to defend the 7% crashes in the market onset by Donald Trump's tariffs. And that's obviously an absurd view to hold on to.
2022, the stocks were lower than they are now.
Right, because of the pandemic, they went down, and you'd
Stocks
have
in
to defend
22,
that.
crypto in 2022. Well, in 2021, during the pandemic, they were a lot larger. Why?
Because the
They
markets
were worth a
hasn't
lot more.
been
You
hit
can
yet.
go back and look at the charts.
I know, that's
So
why
everything
I said
you're saying is
2020.
like completely irrelevant.
No, because I said 2022. I didn't say 2021. I said 2022.
Yeah, 2022, they were down.
That was
2021, they were up.
that's what I said. They were down in 2022. That's right. That's what I said, Victor. Let me ask you, how many functioning brain cells do you think you
Okay.
have? Because I don't think
but
you have
they're not
many.
as down.
Is it a fair chat? Let me ask you. Is it a
It's
fair
crazy.
evaluation
Like
for?
you're gonna.
Is
you're
it a
gonna
fair
try to get
evaluation for
people
me?
to-
Is it a fair evaluation for me
What
to
you're-
say
what you're
that
saying.
Victor doesn't have many functioning brain cells? Is this even a productive conversation? Because I'm unconvinced. Here, let's ask Victor one question to see if this conversation is even worth
Well,
it.
you told me.
Hey, Victor, I got to ask you one question to see if a conversation with you is even worth it. Can you repeat my counter argument to your to your position? Lights are on, but nobody's home. Let's go ahead and get that next Trump supporter in here. If you're MAGA, let me know down below in that chat and I'll pull you up. I have no fucking clue what the hell is going on with these strange guests today. What's up, Formidable? I saw you talking about the e-Bible down below in that chat. I had to bring you up. I'm guessing you're MAGA. Do you support Trump?
Sure. No, I just want to. I'm curious.
Before you speak
about the course that you sold.
Before you speak, can you tell me how old you are?
21.
21. You got a TV playing in the background. Can you mute that
Yeah,
or
I
go into
got
a
you, bro.
different
Hold on.
room?
Nah, I got you.
Sweet. And you are MAGA?
Sure, I wouldn't even say that.
Oh, well, unfortunately, we are just looking to talk to people that are MAGA. So I do appreciate you for coming up. We're going to move on to the next guest. Kindle, everyone, just give us a minute. Make sure if you are in that queue that does indeed mean that you support Trump, everybody. So at this point in time, we're going to get that next guest up here. We got Kindle loaded in. We got Snoop Dogg loaded in. We got Lily loaded in. Look at this. We got all these guests loaded in. Kindle and, Snoop Dogg and Lily, are you guys both MAGA?
Yes, I am.
No, but I really want to say hi. I love you so much.
Have a good one, Lily. So I appreciate you. So Snoop Dogg Spirit, you said you're MAGA. Now, why would you support like the worst president of your life?
Because, well, illegal immigrants are illegal and we're trying to put them back where they belong.
So mass deportation is why you support him. Okay, let's first see if you're consistent with your logic here, because you said that we need to put them back where they belong because they did something illegal and they violated the law and they committed a crime when they entered into this country. And you just think that's heinous, like breaking the law is like terrible, right?
To an extent, yes.
So you must hate Trump for breaking the law to illegally deport the undocumented immigrants, like he did when he violated Abrigo Garcia's constitutional rights and illegally deported him to CCOT in El Salvador, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Perfect. And you must also hate him for being a 34-count convicted felon. You must hate him for being held civilly liable for rape. You must hate him for calling for the termination of the Constitution. And you also must hate him for pardoning violent offenders that try to kill cops on January 6th and calling them patriots. And you must hate him for his most recent pardons of people that pled guilty to tax evasion and tax fraud. And the only reason he pardoned them is because their mom donated him $1 million 3 weeks ago.
No, that's not actually fully accurate.
Okay.
At all.
Tell me what is fully accurate.
He is putting offenders where they fucking belong. They are not, for one, they broke the law by coming in here, so it does not matter how they get out of here. They're not supposed to be here. So, and a lot of the things put against him, like my mom's an immigrant. She's not from here, but she came here legally, okay? She was not from here. She came here the way she's supposed to. And it's not like logical.
So you're fine with like taking human rights away from undocumented immigrants. Did you know that that's a tenet of fascism? It's the second tenet. It's defined in the literature as a disdain for human rights.
Then they shouldn't come here.
So you just don't think that American laws apply to undocumented
Illegally.
immigrants if they don't use legal means of entry into America?
If they did not come here legally, then I'm not gonna treat. I shouldn't have to treat you.
So
like
you don't
a
think
legal
that
citizen.
so you don't think that the laws apply to them because they're not legal citizens, right?
If they're in this country, yeah.
One question: how do you feel about abortion? Do you think that's murder? Do you think that's wrong? That should be illegal?
No, I don't think it should be illegal.
Oh, damn it! I was about to run the best argument on you. We'll talk about that later. You took the
I'm
ammo.
pro-choice.
We'll talk. We'll definitely get around to that. So here's my thoughts. Even if you break the law, you still deserve human rights. Prove me wrong.
I don't know. I mean, if you kill somebody, I don't think you deserve human rights. But if you like get a speeding ticket, I think to a certain extent, yeah, you don't deserve human rights.
Well, I mean, even Jeffrey Dahmer has some human rights, like a right
Yeah,
to
he
due
shouldn't
process, right?
He shouldn't have.
I think it's probably very important that we give violent offenders a right to due process, because it is only with granting violent offenders a right to due process that we can ensure, with the full force of our criminal justice system, that victims, aggressors are held accountable for what they did. Because if we take due process away from a violent offender and we throw them in jail without a discovery and exploration of all evidence to indicate their guilt, it's possible that we may convict the wrong person, leaving the true violent offender to roam free on the streets. So that's why I think it's probably the most important for us to give violent offenders a right to due process. But what is important there, as you said, for victimless crimes like a speeding ticket, you still deserve human rights. Okay. Can we agree that undocumented entry into America is a victimless crime?
No,
Who's the
I
victim?
everyone that lives in America.
So
That doesn't
Americans
want
are
them.
victims that are hurt by undocumented immigrants, even though undocumented immigrants contribute $300 billion to the American GDP every year, even though they contribute $100 billion in taxes
Oh, that's
on the
so
federal,
not
state, and
true.
local level. Okay, well, this
Oh,
isn't coming
that's
from me. This is coming from House Republicans. This is coming from the Institute on Taxation and Economics, and this is coming from the IRS. So you're going to have a big burden of proof to disprove it, not just your emotions. So that's what we call a winning argument. And do you know why it's a winning argument? Because it's aligned with reality. What you have that is a losing argument when you just baselessly deny reality with no reason or evidence because it disagrees with your prejudice and your biases. That's a losing argument because it does not align with reality and you have no evidence to indicate that it does.
okay.
So you're just going to accept that one, take it on the chin. Well, what you're taking on the chin and accepting is that undocumented immigration into America is a victimless crime that actually helps our country.
I can agree to disagree because I don't know as many big words as you, but thank you for the argument and thank you for
Before
talking.
you leave, can you explain why you disagree?
Yes, because they commit most of the crimes here, but because listen, not everything is accurately. Can you agree with me that not everything is accurately put in the data?
The
100%.
data that I referred to definitely is accurate. The only inaccurate data is the data you just gave us. The idea that they commit most of the crimes. That's not true. In fact, they're actually less likely to commit crimes than natural U.S.-born citizens. They're 2.5
Really?
times. Yeah, they're 2 times less
Why?
likely. Why?
Because they're scared of the police.
So I mean, we could speculate about reasons why, but the fact is that they are, right? They're 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes than natural U.S.-born citizens. They're 2.5 times less likely to commit property crimes, and 3 times less likely to commit petty crimes. So unironically, undocumented immigrants lower per capita crime rates in this country. I feel like you probably just think all these things because of very racist and bigoted fake talking points that are probably repeated by your parents, but originally propagated by institutions like Fox Entertainment and Donald Trump.
Just because I'm Republican means I'm racist. That has not anything to do with it. You could say because I'm Republican that I'm homophobic, racist, and all these things, which is not true.
So I don't think you listened to what I said. I said that you're repeating racist talking points. Does that make you racist? Definitely in these beliefs, sure, right? Because you're basically saying that undocumented immigrants are victimizing Americans, hurting them greatly, and they're just committing all these violent crimes. Even though that's not true, this is all just an attempt to fulfill the third defining characteristics of fascism, which is the identification of enemies as a unifying cause for one's base. Funny enough, if you watch the TV show The Boys, they did a play on this in that show. It was beautifully executed. But basically, anyways, what Trump is doing is he's saying, let's look at this demographic of individuals, which are actually really good for this country. But they did break the law when they came into it. And we're going to call them all gang members. We're going to call them all rapists. We're going to call them violent offenders that are going to kill you and your family. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to use terms to strip away their humanity like illegal aliens, just so you're scared. And because you're scared, you're never going to turn your back on the savior that is supposed to save you from this enemy, which is Trump. It's just a very slimy and very harmful tactic to garner the support of a large audience. And that's what Trump is doing. That's what Fox News is doing. So that's why you likely hold all these false conceptions about undocumented immigrants.
Interesting point of view.
I mean, feel free to disprove it, but you won't be able to. Like, you're not going to be able to disprove that undocumented immigrants are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes because that's a fact. Same thing with, like, the amount of money that they contribute to the GDP and federal, state, and local taxes. Like, I'm giving you facts. Like, it's really hard to argue with those.
Where do you get these facts? I just want to know so I can like look them up.
Yeah, for sure. I get my facts that they're less likely to commit all crimes from PNAS. PNAS is an institution of study and research on crime in America that's been operating for the last 60 years. A bigger study that they've been doing over the last 60 years is a comparison of crimes committed by undocumented immigrants compared to legal residents or natural U.S.-born citizens. And it's been a consistent trend since the 70s that they're just significantly less likely to commit all crimes. And now my source for the idea that they contribute $300 billion to the GDP and pay $100 billion per year in taxes is House Republicans from a PDF that they released on house.govs on January 22nd of this year under the start of Donald Trump's administration. And inside of that PDF, inside of their study, they're referencing the Institute on Taxation and Economics as well as just raw IRS data.
Okay, I'll be sure to have a look.
For sure. And then there's one other thing that you said. You said that you're pro-choice. Well,
Yes, I am.
okay. So you agree that there's no good reason to restrict a woman's access to abortion, right?
I think I see where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong.
But ultimately, because you're pro-choice, you just don't think there's any good reason.
Wait, hold on. I don't understand that question.
You don't think that there's any good reason to tell a woman she shouldn't be able to get an abortion?
Oh no, I totally do. I just think in the end though, she shouldn't have to be told, and she can or can't. I definitely see.
So
I
that means
consider.
like at the end of the day, you don't think that there's any good reasons that justify infringing.
I don't think
upon
they're
a
good
woman's right
enough.
to access
I don't think they're
abortion.
good enough.
Okay. All right. Can we agree that like restricting upon somebody's bodily autonomy without good enough reason is a human rights violation? A good example of this
In the
would be like
U.S.,
kidnapping.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you think it's a human rights violation to restrict upon somebody's bodily autonomy without good enough reason. So this means that you think that all abortion bans are human rights violations because they're restricting upon the woman or girl's bodily autonomy without good enough reason, and you just agreed to that. So Donald Trump has caused, under your view, that I agree with, 66 million human rights violations for American women and girls when he directed the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, which led to 18 of our states having bans, with 10 of them having total bans. So why would you ever support a president that has personally caused 66 self-admitted human rights violations?
Well, because I don't support everything that Trump does, and there's a lot of things that I did support from Joe Biden, but I support much more things on Trump's side than that. Yes, I don't agree with his decision for Roe v. Wade. I think that was pretty stupid. But I for more things I agree with Trump because for like the example like the trans people thing, like they taking them out of or whatever, what is it called, military, like they should not. I don't think that the men should be mixed with the women biologically.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So, yeah.
well, you're basically telling me that 0.1% of our population that doesn't harm, hurt, or affect you is worse than 66 million human rights violations. I find that to be crazy. And let me ask you, do you think it's acceptable for trans women to be competing in women's sports?
Oh fuck no.
So trans women are too weak to be in the military, but too strong to be in women's sports. Can you explain that to me?
I think that like if they're in there, they should have their own section. Like if they want to be in the Olympics, that's fine. Then compete with other trans women.
But
If you wanna be in the
they're
military,
too
then-
week to be in the military. They're under your view
I
weaker
don't.
than
I just
cis
think they
women.
should
So
be
why
with
would
their
it
own
matter?
section. I just think I don't. I never said they were too weak. I just think that they
Yes,
should
you
be in
did
their
when
own
you told me
section.
that they shouldn't be able to serve in the military.
They shouldn't be able to serve in their with mixed with the women and men. They need to be in their own section.
Okay.
If they would, that's great. You know,
So
good for them.
Why do you think that trans individuals should be segregated in the military?
Because they're biologically male or female. Okay, it doesn't matter what they fucking identify with. That's what they are.
So even like
And-
cis women aren't segregated in the military. Did you know that?
Well, I know they don't like either whatever train or wherever they sleep. It doesn't matter. They shouldn't be mixed up.
Okay. So trans men shouldn't be with cis men?
No.
Why?
Trans men should be with the trans men. Men should be with the men.
So why shouldn't trans men be with cis men in the military?
Because they don't put
Because
women
why?
with men. They don't mix them.
So yes, cis women do go with cis men in the military. But B, you're still not telling me a reason. You're just saying, well, because of this other thing,
Because
which you think to be true. So what is the specific reason as it relates to trans men?
Because okay, for one, they have different autonomy. It doesn't matter if they got surgery or what. They are not the same, and it's also if they're mentally ill. If you're
I'm
trans,
not. I'm
you're
not. I'm
most
not.
likely mentally ill.
Oh,
Being
okay.
trans is a mental
Really,
illness.
really,
Okay.
really. So, okay. Hey, can you please name one institution of medicine or science in which would agree with you that being TRANS
No, I'm not
is
gonna
a
be able to
mental
name one
illness?
because I'm not gonna be able to
Do you
search
want to
one
know
up.
why
So
you won't be
I
able to
know
name one?
why. Why,
Because
Dean?
there isn't any. There's not a single
Okay.
reputable institution of medicine or science in which would consider being TRANS a mental illness. In fact, here's 17 that explicitly state that it is not. The World Health Organization, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association, the Endocrine Society, WPATH, the British Psychological Society, the Royal College of Psychiatrists, the Canadian Psychological Association, the Australian Psychological Society, the European Society for Sexual Medicine, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Family Physicians, the American Counseling Association, the American Public Health Association, and so on. I could go all day. It's funny because the only people that consider being TRANS to be a mental illness are people like you that don't have a degree in medicine, that didn't go to that didn't go to school to study, medicine, human biology, neuroanatomy, or an incongruence between one's gender identity and phenotypical sex traits. And the only people that say that just possess prejudice and take it out on 0.1% of the population that has never hurt, harm, or affected you whatsoever. And funny enough, in your bio it says you're bi. Did you know that forever being bi or gay or lesbian was considered a mental illness by the same people that call
I
being
do know that.
TRANS a mental illness today?
I do. First of all, yeah, I do know that there's bi in my section, my bio. I put
All
that
right,
there.
all right. The claim
And
that
I
is a
don't
mental
think,
illness is just as valid and sound with the same amount of scientific evidence to
but it's
indicate
not
that it's true
currently
as
seen
your
as a
claim as
mental
well.
illness, and being trans totally is.
Oh, so you just want to go off of what is current. So if we were having this conversation 50 years ago, you'd also be saying that being BI is
I
a
wouldn't
mental
have
illness.
the knowledge of, I would say, as I did.
And then
50 years
also,
ago
by the way,
going
it is
now.
literally not considered a mental illness. And I just gave you all the evidence to demonstrate that that's true. The same institutions in which no longer consider being BI to be a mental illness today are the same institutions that do not consider being TRANS a mental illness today.
Okay, what about, what is it called? Body, what do they have? Body dysmorphia or something. Was that right? They have that?
I want to
So,
ask you a question. And I love this question.
Okay.
Because you consider yourself to fight for women's rights, and you've just told us in the last 5
No,
minutes.
I don't say I would fight for women's rights. I'm not a feminist. I don't think so.
Okay. So it's funny. This guest is so gone that they won't even call this anti-trans rhetoric a deluded fight for women's rights like the Tariffs do. That's hilarious. I can't even believe that. Now, you were just telling us about how you want to segregate men from women, and you hold this so strongly that you don't even think that trans men should be around cis men. So, how would you feel about a cis man going into a woman's changing room?
I think that if they fully transitioned into
No,
looking like something else, they need to have their own.
a cis man like me.
Oh, cis. Okay, going into a women's changing room.
Yeah.
I think that's really odd and really bad and gross.
Now,
And
what if they went in there just to look at half-naked teenagers while they were changing?
that's even worse.
How bad is it?
Very bad.
Very bad. How'd you feel about men that have done this and then boasted about it like they were proud?
That's like half of society.
Well, I think that men are bad, but I don't think that 50% of men have walked into a woman's changing room to perv on naked teenagers and boasted about it. But even if that was true, I don't think that would change how bad I think it is. Like, which percentage of white individuals in society thought that enslaving black individuals was okay 250 years? Definitely a lot. If it was slimmer, would that mean that it would be worse? No. Okay. But please answer my question. How would you feel if somebody did this and boasted about it? How bad would that man be?
I don't know.
That'd be really bad?
It could potentially, yeah.
Potentially. So you're saying it's possible that it's not really bad. Why would you say that?
Because it may not be true. And if it is true.
If it is true, is it really bad?
Yeah, then yeah.
So if a man did this, boasted about it, then ran for president, would you ever vote for them?
Depending on what they've done, yeah.
Well, depending on if they have walked into the changing room of naked teenagers, perved on them, then boasted about it like they were proud. Would you ever vote for them if they've done that?
Sure. Yeah, I would because
You
I
would
don't know.
vote for them.
I don't know if it's true.
If you know it's true, would you vote
Okay, if
for
I knew
them?
it's true for a fact, for 100% fact, then
Right.
no, I wouldn't.
What if I told you this is something Trump has done? Hypothetically, if it was, how would that make you feel? Would you denounce all of your support for him right now? If you knew it was true.
Okay, would I take all my support away from him or his ideas? Because
From him, would you take all your support away from him right now if hypothetically it could prove with certainty that Donald Trump has perved on naked, changing teenagers in their locker rooms and boasted about it like he was proud?
if I believe the clip, then maybe. If like I can, if it's
A maybe. So let me get this straight. Let
I
me get
don't
this
think I
straight.
believe it.
You, so
I
you,
don't
so
think it's
you,
true.
so no. If you thought it was true because the evidence provided was overwhelming, would you still support him?
No. Like if I saw it with my own eyes, no.
You know what? This is what I've said to the last two people that I've discussed this topic with, and I'll say it again to you. No takesy backsies. Let's go ahead and roll the tape.
A little bit later
The
on.
question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So before you even speak, I already know that you're going to take it back. Right before I played the clip, you said, if I knew it was true, I'd stop supporting him. Now you know it's true. You're not going to stop supporting him. So what are today's mental gymnastics? Please tell us.
That low-key, I'm gonna do some research on that.
So the mental gymnastics today is that you have to do more research. No, you don't. I just played you a clip of him admitting it.
I don't know. It sounds like him, but I don't know. I think it sounded like that on that radio show, right?
What are the mental
So-
gymnastics? So what's the defense? Because keep in mind, you were like, oh, if Dean could prove to you with certainty that Trump has done this, you'd stop supporting him. Obviously, you're not going to do that because you're a MAGA cultist. So what's the logic to defend your hypocrisy? Like, let's hear it. Come on, get start talking, please. We're waiting with anticipation.
I don't know.
Oh, so there's just no defense. You're just gagged. You don't know. You have nothing to say. Well, you had something to say before I played the clip. What you said was that if I proved it to you, you'd stop supporting him. Not saying anything is not you is not you revoking your support for him. So why are you not revoking your support for him, even though a minute and a half ago you told us that you would?
Okay, I don't think no. Him, no. But his ideas and some of the stuff he's done, I still support. Now I'm supporting him as a person a little bit less.
Oh, so the mental gymnastics today is you're making a distinction between him as a person and him as a president, and now you're not even saying that you don't support him as a person at all, just a little bit less. Okay, well, guess what? He is the president. Him as a person is the one that you voted for and is the one in which was inaugurated and sitting in the Oval Office today.
I didn't vote for him.
Well, what? You were under 18?
Yeah, I'm 17. I didn't vote for him.
Oh,
yet.
you're 17. I should have asked you for your age before you joined, but I got to kick you. TikTok terms of service tells me I have to, but I'm not going to lie. You're 17. Like, you're old enough to know that like this hypocrisy is unacceptable. And honestly, Like, I don't really even care. 17, there's not 18, there's not that big of a difference as it relates to conversations about the world. And I think that it's very important that you hopefully can take a lot to heart insofar as the discussion that we had and completely change as a person, before you're able to legally vote. I think that that'd be very important. Now, we're going to move on to the next guest because they're underage. Everyone just give us a minute. I should ask them for their age before they're joined. That was my fault. Let's go and move on to the next guest, Apple user, everybody. What's up, Apple user? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 23, Dean.
You're 23. Do you support Trump?
So I don't, but I have a question for you.
I'm sorry, Apple user. We're only looking to talk to people that do support Trump, so we're going to get that next guest, Dennis, up in the live right now. Everyone just kind of give us a minute. As well as Alexander. Thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Dean, you get a passing mention on the most recent episode of Some More News. They have a podcast. You should reach out to them. I'll check them out. Thank you for the $20, Alexander. As well as Mr. J with the $75 super chat over on the YouTube stream. Thank you, Jay. Jay says, another lesson from me. You respect the older gentleman, and your counter argument with him through the lowering of your tone and the slowing of the speed of your words was for me impactful. Respect back, dude. Well, it's because his son put him on the mic. Like, I try not to inflame the parents of children that the children will put on the mics because I don't want to start beef between the parents and the children. But I do really appreciate you for the $75 donation. For the 9.2 thousand people in here, while we're getting the next guest up, can you guys please show some love to Jay down below in that chat? Let's go and get that next guest, Tanner, up in the box, literally right now, everybody. What is going on, Tanner? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
33. Okay, man. Before we start our debate, I got to thank Natalia for the $20 over on PayPal saying, yo, it's Curtis. My phone's almost charged. Don't worry. My father and I won't get into a fight now, and I assure you he's... Okay. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you for coming up here and letting me talk to your dad. Unfortunately, I think I am going to leave that conversation where it is, and I do appreciate you for your kindness there. Now, if you're watching, if you happen to be part of the 9,000 people on TikTok or the 2,000 people on YouTube, and you want to support me, keep the studio running for 4 hours a day, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio if you're on TikTok, as well as there in the pin message of the YouTube stream. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms, so I'll go straight to me, and you get a shout out, as well as I could read off any and all attached messages. Now, Tanner, take it away. Tell us why you support the worst president of your life, Donald J. Trump.
I wouldn't call him that, but yeah, I have multiple reasons. Well, one, I was finding the last conversation you were talking about with the last viewer was the trans community and all of that. It's a very sensitive topic and it's very fragile in some aspects. But what I would say is I served in the military 8 years, and I don't believe they shouldn't be in the military. I won't say that, go that far, but I will say that where the segregation does need to be drawn, the line does need to be drawn, is sleeping quarters and bathing facilities. That's go.
You're lagging really badly.
Gate.
You're lagging terribly badly.
Part of the best.
Okay. The lag's
Did you hear any of that about?
The first thing I heard you say is that they should be segregated in sleeping quarters.
Sleeping quarters and bathing facilities. They should go by, and by segregated.
Well, I think that everybody should have their own individual. One second. I think that everybody should have their own bathing facilities, regardless of their cis and trans. So tell me about sleeping quarters. Why should they be? Why should they be? Oh my God, Tanner, could you stop? Thank you.
I'm listening to you, man.
You can't listen while you're over speaking me. You're not letting me get a word in.
Okay, go ahead.
So why do you think that sleeping quarters should be segregated?
Sleeping quarters, because it just could mitigate and it can stop, like, in the sense of, like, I mean, no male or female, regardless what they identify as, or trans or non-trans, is going to commit acts of, like, they're already separated, male and female birthings on a ship. So that's how it's already segregated. But what I'm saying is they can't say, I identify as a female and I'm going to go sleeping now in the females, birthing quarters.
You haven't yet tell me why you think that, you know what, man? Okay, I'm going to say this. Listen.
They'll cross the line. They'll cross the line.
I'm going to say this. Tanner, let me know when you're done over speaking me.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to say this. I disagree with you. I could give you a really compelling argument why I disagree with you, but I actually don't think that this is the time nor the space, because I'm asking you why you support Trump. That's a question on top of my head, and this has nothing to do with Trump. I'm not going to lie. He passed an executive order to ban all trans individuals from serving in the military, not to segregate trans individuals from particular sleeping quarters. Okay? And you even said that you disagreed with that order from Trump. So tell us why you support Trump. Let's stay on topic.
Okay, so yeah, I support Trump and the fixing and correcting of the U.S. border. I've actually been down there. I'm originally from Texas, and you can see that the wall that had been being built and was stopped under the Biden administration actually was effective and is present there. And people don't believe it was there. Like it was like almost non-existent to some people if they actually didn't go down boots on the ground and see the wall at the border. And all the Border Patrol agents that I've spoken with that actually are doing day in and day out, utilizing connections with ICE and deportations that need to happen, and also helping immigrants get proper citizenship and get through the entire access to gain citizenship in a lot smoother and faster transition. Yes, it has under all administrations for years taken up to 10 years, but it's getting better. It's getting better, and Trump has had different plans and bills he's passed in order to make that much smoother and not let them flood into the country all at once.
So you're lying.
So what?
You're lying. I talk about
No.
this. I talk about this all the time. I'm always talking about how Donald Trump
I don't
Tanner?
jump in your page that much. I just see you
Tanner?
just today. Go ahead. I'm just saying that I'm not lying.
Don't speak until I'm done speaking, and I'll give you the same respect. So you are lying.
Okay.
I speak about this all of the time. Donald Trump has never passed any legislation to make the legal means of entry into America more effective. In fact, he's never even stood at a mic at a podium and said he wants to make the legal means of entry into America easier. The only involvement that he's had in congressional legislation to make the legal means of entry into America easier is when he told and instructed all Republicans in Congress to torpedo the Biden administration's bipartisan border bill that would have made the legal means of entry into America easier. So when you come on here swinging, spreading this misinformation, saying that Donald Trump is fighting to make the legal means of entry into America easier, you're just lying. Now, I want you to prove me wrong, because obviously that's what this is. It's a debate live. Prove me wrong by telling me that the policy that Donald Trump has ran on in either of his two terms, or implemented in either of his two terms, that served to make the legal means of entry into America more efficient.
I don't know. I'll apologize in advance if I said that making it easier, because I'm not making it easier, but when I said smoother is a better term for it, because smoother meaning that it's still going to be hard. It's very hard. The whole process for getting legal citizenship is very hard. It's a long and taskful thing to go through. But what it's saying is making it smoother as far as in rounding up. They have these internment camps and things where they have migrants. They have too much on their plate to even deal with, and they have to deportate. Who are we deporting? Who are we not? Who are we allowing to gain citizenship? Who are we not?
This incoherent
The Biden administration was going to allow everyone to come in.
Stop talking.
You literally got to go.
I'm telling you to stop talking because you haven't answered my question. Okay?
I'm answering it for you right now. He's made it smoother, not easier.
So you just told us. So A, the term smoother is interchangeable with the term easier as it relates to the resistance in which individuals would face when trying to legally migrate into America. And B, you're telling me that he's making it smoother for individuals to enter in legally by deporting undocumented immigrants that are already in America? I'm sorry, sir, but deporting individuals has nothing to do with making the legal means of entry into America smoother. Those are both immigration.
Yes, it does, because no one should be in. If you're an illegal, you shouldn't be here. You should come through the proper channels.
But the argument.
That's a simple fact.
But the argument.
That's a simple fact.
But this quote unquote simple fact that I will definitely allow you to argue, it has no relevance to an example of Donald Trump making the legal means of entry into America smoother. That doesn't make courts process and the individual seeking legal entry into America process them faster. That doesn't reduce the average wait time. That doesn't make it less expensive. No, that's for sure deporting undocumented immigrants already in America. That's something we can talk about, but that has no bearing and/or relevance on Donald Trump making the legal means of entry into America better. So once again, how has Donald Trump made the legal means of entry into America better?
By employing vast amounts of ICE and Border Patrol agents in order to facilitate and understand or to handle all of these illegal immigrants that we've now put on buses and piled up that need to go somewhere.
Undocumented immigrants have nothing to do
Undocumented immigrants.
with the legal means of entry into America. That's definitionally speaking true. If you are an undocumented immigrant, this means that you are forgoing the legal systems of entry into America and you are entering into America illegally. Undocumented immigrants bear no relevance on the legal means of entry into America. Rounding up undocumented immigrants does not make legal immigrants become residents or citizens faster. Deporting undocumented immigrants does not give legal immigrants a smoother process to become a citizen or a resident. Good grief, my dude. This is obvious. What ICE agents do to undocumented immigrants can't make what courts do to legal immigrants go smoother. Those are both under the umbrella of immigration policy
It
reform,
does, though.
but
It does, though, and I'll tell you why. For one reason.
bears no relevance or impact on A.
For one reason, it does, and I'll tell you why. It shows that the influx of illegal immigrants that are wanting to gain access into America, whether it's from refugees running away from
Refugees
poverty
are
or
not
crime.
undocumented immigrants.
Okay, well, not refugees, but running away from crime or running away from a bad lifestyle or bad countries, living quarters, whatever the reasoning for them coming over here. It shows a massive amount of this many immigrants we're having coming over illegally. They don't care to do it. They'll just come in illegally because that's how badly they want to be here. Well, what that now projects and
I cut you off. I muted you. If you want to talk about undocumented immigrants, we could do that. But undocumented immigrants will exist nowhere in an answer to my question. Because remember, my question was, what has Donald Trump done to make the process of legal entry smoother?
yes, and that's what I was trying to say.
Undocumented immigrants bear no relevance
Now
to
they're
the
paying
process of legal
attention.
entry.
Now they're paying attention to the process and how it takes the citizenship to be gained. They're now paying attention to it under the Trump administration because they realize, okay, maybe we should make it less strict. Maybe we should make it less strict.
When
They're
has he
talking
said
about this.
that?
I'm not saying anything's passed yet.
Show me where they've talked about
Literally,
this.
he's talked about it. He goes, the border's a mess.
Show
and
me,
he said that I have
show me,
a
play
lot
me a
needs to
clip,
be fixed.
give me a source, give me an article
I don't
where
have
it
it right on my hand. I
indicates
could
like
get you the clip, though.
specific
There is a clip.
solutions
You
in
can
which
find
you
it.
would want to implement about making the legal means of entry into America easier.
Is under 2024, Donald Trump speaks on, I can't pull it up myself right now, but I'm saying you can pull it up if you want to, anytime you want. And it's 2024, Donald Trump speaks on the border policy that was left for him from the Biden administration and what needs to change and changes that need to be made and assessed or addressed, sorry. Because he knows it needs fixing. He knows it's bad. And I'm not saying he's perfect either. I'm not. Donald Trump is not perfect. He's a human being. We're all human beings. And
Okay,
he's fucking sensitive.
yeah, I looked that up. You want to know what the first thing that comes up is?
What's that?
Beefing up security to catch undocumented immigrants. Nothing about fixing the legal means of entry into this country. I have lost 1.2
That's the
thousand
first part.
viewers on the
That's just the first
TikTok
part.
stream because you are an incredibly dense idiot that can't concede that you were wrong when you said that Donald Trump is trying to
You don't
make the
lose
legal
viewers
means of
'cause of me,
entry
bud.
into America smoother.
You don't lose viewers because of me, bud.
I'm absolutely. People are leaving because they can't deal with your unsufferability
No.
and denseness.
From
You
the
are
comments, it
absolutely
looks like
so
they can't
incredibly
deal with
dense
you.
because you can't indicate to us anything that Donald Trump has announced he wants to do or has done to make the legal means of entry into America easier. I even just looked up quote unquote what you told me to, and when I looked it up, nothing popped up. Only the same old, build the wall, mass deportation, and prevent undocumented entry. Building a wall, mass deportation, and the prevention of undocumented entry into America has no relevance on the proactive solutions to make the legal means of entry into America smoother. I'm going to ask you to concede, or I'm going to ask you to give me a specific proposed policy from Trump that would aid and abet in making the legal means of entry smoother. And if you don't do any of these two things, I'm going to kick you from the live, and I'm never going to think about your dense ass again.
Okay. I mean, you can go and look in the article more in depth and read just the first paragraph or what the head title is.
You
'cause
don't
it's gonna
even
tell
know
you.
the
It's gonna
article
tell you.
who's the article published by?
Who's the article published by? I don't remember, man. I looked up in 2024. It's 25 now.
Oh
Okay,
my
I'm
God!
just
Yeah,
saying that
go
I've
look
seen. I
at
follow
this.
all of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
policies,
Tanner. You
so
want
on
me to
his
look
current
at this
policies and-
mysterious article? You don't know the name of the article. You don't know the publisher of the article. You don't know anything about this article. But somewhere out there's a mysterious article that will tell me exactly what Trump wants to do to make the legal means of entry into America. Sorry, bro. I'm not going to trust you. Give me a source. You make the claim. You bring the evidence. Tanner couldn't do it, so he left. He left. So yeah, I guess Tanner taught us all a very important lesson. When you are a lazy Trump supporter that does no work to justify what you believe in, and you just pick and choose your beliefs, like picking or choosing a new shirt that you think is cute, and just living in this land of fairy tale and delusion. You just assume whatever you want to be true to make Donald Trump look better. If you come up here and you bet your life on these lies and you hold these lies to be true with conviction, you'll really end up pissing me off. I guess that's what we've all learned. You just got to come up here and bet your life on these lies and have complete, total, blind, utter confidence and conviction in this utter shit, this utter nonsense. What's going on? Hell's favorite pet? Do you support Trump?
Absolutely not.
All right, Based, we are just looking to talk to Trump supporters, but I do appreciate you for joining. We're going to move on to the next guest, everybody. Somebody in my chat says, Dean, take a rest. Yeah, that shit pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. Real. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box. All of you are down below in that queue and you do support Trump. Go ahead and spam mag. I will get you up on that stream to have a conversation with us right now. I'd like to thank Star Ears for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, guest is almost that bad as that game of Tic Tac Toe. Yeah, that's pretty bad. As well as Nina, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, thank you for setting the record straight on immigration. Anti-immigration rhetoric does not deserve any time. It's so easy to refute. It's so easy to refute. The right's perceptions on immigration are total and complete delusions. Let's go and get the next guest up here. Once again, go back to spamming MAGA down below in that chat if you want to join and have a chat. I'd also like to thank Maria for the $5 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love. And Charlotte, thank you for the $30 on PayPal. Charlotte says, love what you're doing. Greetings from Switzerland. Charlotte, hope that you're having a good day. Thank you for the $30. Let's get 300 W Charlottes down below, as well as Media Line with a $7 on PayPal. Thank you. Yadria with the $20 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Yadria. That is Yadria. Thank you so much. Now let's go to get that next Trump supporter up here. Guys, we are looking for any and all Trump supporters. Go back to spamming MAGA down below in that chat if you want to skip the line and come right on up here. What is going on, Kingston? Do you support Trump?
Yes, Daddy.
What the fuck? What's going on, Kai? Do you support Trump? Kai, you're going on pause. Come back to the live. What's up, Kai? Do you support Trump?
No, I love you, Dean.
All right. Appreciate you. We're going to move on to the next guest, James Not Bond. We got them loading up. Give us a minute. James Not Bond is loading in. And Carla, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Let's get 100 W Carlas down below in that chat, as well as Elena, ELENA. Thank you for the $10. And Delaney, thank you for the $30. 300 Delaney W's. Delaney has a message. Delaney says, love your work, Dean. Go get them. I will never stop getting them. Delaney, thank you for the love. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't. I just want to say I love you so much, really.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That's incredibly kind of you. Let's go over the rules real quick. If you are in that queue, please make sure that you're at least 18 years old and make sure that you're from America and make sure that you are MAGA. I really appreciate you guys. I think that you're kind, especially the individuals that are coming up here and being very kind. But we are really just looking for debates. And I would really appreciate it if you would please respect that.
Bottles of wine or fizz over £6.
Okay, Amber's watching something. What's up, NY? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. So tell us, why do you support the worst president of your life?
Well, Trump is doing price controls on drugs, so it's cheaper.
Oh, okay. So he's actually not doing price controls on drugs. Boom. Easy dispute. I know the executive order that you're referencing. In the executive order that was aimed to reduce the price of prescription drugs, he didn't implement any price controls or any true function that would have enforceable price caps on pharmaceuticals. What he did was he basically put out an EO saying, please reduce the price of your drugs. I'm not going to do anything to you if you don't, but please just do it. That's not a price control, okay? If you want to know what a price control is, you should be looking at the American Rescue Plan that Biden and Harris passed, which included a price control on insulin in America, capping it at $30 a month for every single American, or the price controls that Kamala Harris ran on that Donald Trump didn't, capping the amount of money that any American could pay for private out-of-pocket pharmaceutical drugs to $2,000 per year. Seemingly, Biden and Harris fit your agenda of wanting price controls on drugs. Trump doesn't.
Yeah, okay. Just want to hear your answer. I'm actually from Norway and I don't support him.
Okay, well, W Norway, man. But please stop requesting if you don't support Trump, guys. Please, 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 everybody, please. I'm begging. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. Please stop doing that. What's going on, Eric? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Great. Before we hop into our debate, Chloe, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying, Dean, I love you so much. You're amazing, and we need more people like you. Chloe, we need more people like you. That's so incredibly kind of you. Thank you for the $10. 100 Chloe W's down below. Eric, why do you support Trump?
Basically, the opposite of whatever the left is. You guys are a bunch of suck.
Okay. You left before you were able to finish your roast. Come back, beta male. I guess he's so scared of talking to me that he left before he finished calling me whatever he wanted to call me. We heard like "suh," and then it just cut out. Damn, bro. He was so ready to run, he jumped the gun. He couldn't even get his insult out. Now that's funny. Now that's funny, okay? If you want an example of comedy, that shit right there is comedic as hell. That's embarrassing as fuck for that guy. He came up here to talk shit. He couldn't even talk shit right. Someone in the chat said he's probably just as fast in bed too. Whoever you are, you're a funny motherfucker, okay? You are a man of comedy, let me tell you. Moving on to the next guest, everyone. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box right now. Let me know if you're MAGA down below in that chat. We're going to get you up here for a conversation. What's going on, Showtime? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Oh, dude, no, why? Wait, have we already talked?
We have.
When?
Yesterday.
Ah, man, okay. I try to only talk to one person one time. Sometimes I'll talk to one person more than one time, but definitely not like back-to-back days. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box. We got Evan loading in. Let me know if you're MAGA down below. We're going to get you up on the stream right now. Then once again, if you want to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in my bio. What's up, Evan? How old are you? Evan! I guess Evan has nothing to say. Evan has nothing to say. Isn't that crazy how we could have 7.5 thousand people in here and there's not like one person that wants to come up and have a conversation? That's about why they support Trump. Crane, what's up?
Where's your vape?
What?
Where's your vape?
I don't own a vape. So
you have a vape?
No, I don't. I have an anxiety pen, buddy. Big difference, pal. Oh, and he's leaving too. Okay. Moving on to the next guest. Hell behind me is loading up into the box right now. All right. Kid doesn't know what an anxiety pin is. Get real. Get with the time, buddy. What's up, Hell behind? Do you support Trump?
I did.
You did, but now you don't?
I have not for a long time.
Hella based. Just looking for those Trump supporters. Is there anybody out there that actually supports Trump? Anybody? Anyone? Is there anybody out there? What's up?
Hi.
What's up, Clementine? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I love Trump.
Are you trolling?
No, I'm MAGA. I love Trump.
Why would you say you love him?
Do you know why I love Trump?
Why?
Because I love how he poops his pants.
Okay. I don't. We're going to go ahead and kick you and move on. We got Caden loading into the stream. Next guest loading in. Hello, Caden.
What's good?
Are you MAGA? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
So you're not like a fake or a phony like all of these other trolls?
Nah.
No, okay. Tell us why you support this lunatic.
I mean, look at the other option. I mean, there ain't really much to choose from.
Oh, the other option was Kamala Harris. Let me guess. She's a woman. That's a big no-no.
It's the like switching up all the time and not really having a set policy, you know?
She had set policy. You just didn't look at it. Dude, seriously, if you went to kamalaharris.com/issues at like any point before November 5th, you could have read 30 pages of her set policy. You just didn't.
I mean, they were all copied and pasted. It was all just plagiarism.
Plagiarized from whom?
I mean, just all copied and pasted.
From whom? Okay, where is it copied from?
I mean, look, everybody else that she was running with, like
who?
every single Democrat follows the same agenda, but then when they get in, it doesn't really exist.
So
Like it's
you're
all
not
copied and
you're
pasted.
not giving me a clear answer here. Do I need to repeat the question, or you
I said
just want
every
to try
other
to answer it
Democrat.
again?
I said y'all got like a little set little thing y'all can follow, and
Okay, I mean, let's just
then
first of
y'all
all
follow
see
each
what
other,
you.
and then when it gets down to it, y'all don't
So
really do nothing.
what was her policy that was copy and pasted? Can you be specific?
Like I just said, y'all just follow every single agenda that every Democrat has, and then when y'all get in there, y'all just do what makes you money.
Do you have
It
a
wasn't-
brain?
What's up?
Do you have a brain?
Yeah.
Okay, then listen to and
I-
listen
I
to what I'm
already
saying.
answered it, buddy.
So I need you to listen closely because you haven't
Yeah.
listened at all so far. You said that she copy and pasted her policy. Okay, so
Yeah,
tell
I
me
said
what.
she copied and pasted it from every other Democrat that follows y'all's agenda, and then when it gets into it, y'all just throw it out the window.
So specifically, what was the policy that she stole? Be very specific.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying, bro. Like, can you not comprehend what I'm saying?
Do you
Like,
have
y'all
an?
have like a little set agenda, y'all copy and paste.
Okay, I don't think
And
you're
then y'all
understanding
just-
what I'm saying. I'm asking you to be specific about what that agenda is. What is the specific policy she copy and pasted?
Like I said, y'all don't do anything. You get in there and you do what gets y'all money in your pocket. That's what y'all have always done.
Why are you avoiding answering my question?
Bro, what do you mean avoiding answering your question?
I mean what I said. You're
Same
just
thing.
1 second. I'm gonna put you on mute so you could listen to me. I mean what I say. You're just simply not asking it. I'm asking you to give an example of one of these stolen policies, and you're just simply not doing it. I'll try again, dude. But this is like seriously my last time. Like we've gone in a circle like 7 times in the last 45 seconds. The very specific question I'm asking is just like I'm asking you if you could give an example of one of the specific policies she stole or copy and pasted or comes from like this greater democratic agenda. If you can't answer this question, I'm gonna kick you. But I want to give you another opportunity. Unmute. And if you're having some difficulty understanding the question that I'm asking you, ask me or tell me that you are, and I will re-describe the question. I just want to make sure that you're clear on the question that I'm asking so we can get a clear answer. So I guess before you try to give us a clear answer, can you repeat the question I asked you just so I could ensure that you clearly understand what I'm asking?
I mean, I said the same thing every single time.
No,
I don't know
no,
what
no,
you
no,
don't
no, no, no,
understand. Y'all have a little agenda y'all say you have, and then when you get in there, you do nothing you said you're gonna
What
do.
the
There is
fuck
no
is going
agenda.
on? Yo, Caden, can you repeat the question I asked you?
Bro, I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna do what some dude that sits the P tells me to do, bro. What do you mean?
Okay, so then why the fuck are you here if you're not even gonna engage with the
Because
words that
I'm
are coming out of my
answering it,
mouth?
and my answer isn't good enough for you. What do you mean?
I don't.
You have this
so
little
what are
pedestal
what
you
are
sit
you
on because you're a
answering?
Democrat.
Like what is the question that you're answering, bud? Because
I mean, what's
do
your?
you even know it?
I mean, I said that y'all just.
1 second,
copy and paste the same
Stefan! Thank
agenda.
you so much for the $100 over on Venmo, and Sophia with $100 too. Oh my God, Stefan and Sophia! Could we please have everybody in the live chat spam so many W, Stefan and Sophia's? So Sophia says, oh no. Oh no! Thank you so much. The 2 S's, guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. You know who I'm talking to. I didn't read the message before. I'm sorry. You know what I'm referencing. I can't take it back. I'm so sorry. But Stefan says, "Keep up the great work, Dean. Much respect, Steve. Thank you for the love, Steve. Can we get 1,000 Steve W's down below in that chat, as well as to the other donor? Says, love your arguments, and it's awesome to hear someone with actual logic. Thank you so much, guys. Please show some love to them down below in the chat. That is seriously so incredibly kind of you guys. That is so much goddamn money. Thank you guys so much for the love. Everybody, show them some love down below in the comment section. Like, holy shit, that's just insane. But anyways, welcome back, kid. And can you say, like, W's to the donors? I just had 2 people donate $100. Can you show them some love?
I mean, I respect it. I mean, if support what you love, I guess.
Nice. So I'll ask you my question one last time. Can't answer it. I'm going to kick you. It's very simple. You said that Kamala's copy and pasted her policy. Can you give me an example of a specific policy that she copy and pasted? If you can't, I'm going to kick you and move on because you're annoying the fuck out of me.
LGBTQ thing, all that stuff. Y'all just like.
He doesn't even know what he's saying. And he's like going on pause in between. Can you give that example, man?
Going on pause, I said there's not really a policy that you guys are copy and pasting this agenda. Like all this LGBTQ
Yeah. I'm not even to talk to him about the LGBTQ plus. He's gonna say something. I'm gonna prove why he's wrong in like 5 words, and it's just not gonna computate. What's up, Diego? Are you MAGA?
How you?
Okay, and Diego left. We're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Give us a minute to get that next guest up in the stream. If you're watching and you're MAGA, feel free to, let me know down below in that chat by spamming MAGA. We will get you up here. What's going on? AC?
Hello.
How old are you?
Hello.
It's a kid. Moving on to the next guest, Cherry. If you're a part of the 7.5 thousand people in the TikTok and you want to come up here and tell me why you support Trump, feel free. Let me know in that chat. We'll pull you up here. We're having a little bit of a difficult time finding debates today. I'm not going to lie. There's not a lot of Trump supporters left, which, by the way, is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Let me tell you, it's a good thing. And then it's like the people that we are inevitably bringing up here are just like dumb as rocks. What's up, Alex? How old are you?
Yo, Dean, Cookie King mogs you, bro.
Not a chance, buddy. Not a chance. Skedaddle. Listen, we have like trolls, we have liberals, and then we just have people like the last guest that can't even understand like a sample question. Sophie, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, my dad's here to debate.
Oh, your dad's here to debate. Hello, Sophie's father. My name's Dean.
Bro.
Why do you support Trump?
Hello, Dean. It's a good question. I support some things that Trump says and does, not everything, because he likes to say a lot of things. But
overall, you're MAGA, so take it away. Why
I like that he's a popular.
Go ahead.
I think I voted for him because I think he some of the things that struck a chord with me as a Catholic are really important in politics. I think there's a respect for the working man, for the like trying.
Oh no, not the MAGA mobile. Oh geez. Hey, Sophie, I don't know if you can hear me, Sophie's dad. Your guys' internet is cutting out very strongly. So I really wish that I could chat. I really wish I could chat. Sophie and Sophie's father, I don't remove you guys, not because you said anything wrong or whatnot. I actually really wish I could have a conversation with you, Sophie's dad. But your internet was cutting out, and it was just like a really laggy phone call. Feel free to come back. Feel free to hop in that queue again if you're able to fix your connection. Seriously, Sophie's dad, I'd love to chat. We've been struggling to find Trump supporters. Love to talk to you, especially since you're Catholic. It'd be an interesting convo. What's up, Cloud? Are you MAGA?
Yes.
How old are you? That's a child. Get out of here. Liam, tell me.
Well, hello.
Oh, you're not the Liam I thought you were. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19 years of age.
19 years of age. What year are you born in?
2005.
2005, what month?
Why do you want to know that, sir?
Because I don't know if I believe that you're 19, and this is just the way that I verify your age.
That's your... I am not using an AI voiceover, by the way. But yeah, I support Trump.
Okay, well, I think that they lied about their age. So, next! Who's the next Trump supporter? Let's gonna get that next guest up in the box. Here we go, everyone.
Hey, what's up, Dean? How you doing, man?
Hey, dude, Adam, I'm doing all right. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Are you MAGA?
I am MAGA.
Ah, dude, oh, why?
So listen, I really think that there's something that we could have a really productive conversation over, and that's abortion. I think the key thing that the argument always goes to is when the fertilization of the zygote occurs, that final thing, you guys all refer to it as a clump of cells.
I don't think when fertilization occurs is like a crux of disagreements on positions of abortion, but regardless, okay. So what's your stance on abortion? Let's hear it.
So I'm pro-life.
Okay.
I think abortion should be illegal.
So let me ask you for further clarification. Are you pro-life with exceptions, or do you think that it should even be illegal for victims of rape to seek abortion?
I think it should be illegal for victims of rape.
Oh, dude, Adam, that is gross, man. But it's a really easy position to defeat. You listen to me. it's hard to be respectful to somebody that doesn't think that victims of rape should be able to access abortion. But it's a very easy position to defeat, and I'm going to take a little bit more of an educational approach on this because this is something that I don't want a quick dunk on. I actually want you to change the way you think. So let's start with a very simple question so I could better understand your view. Why do you think that victims of rape shouldn't have legal access to abortion?
Because I think that once fertilization occurs, that is a life. That is a life without a doubt, and there's no excuse to take that life, regardless of the method of conception.
Okay, I disagree. I think that there's a really good. I think that there's a great quote unquote excuse for victims of rape. So let me preface what I'm about to say by saying two things. Obviously, because I'm pro-choice, that means that I don't value the life of the fetus. Thereby, I don't think there's anything wrong in killing it. But for this argument, we're actually going to assume your view that the fetus's life is valuable and it does have the right to life, just like you and I. Okay, right? But I still think that we could justify a victim of rape having access to abortion, and here's why. We're actually going to start with an analogy. So imagine that you make just enough money to buy just enough food to keep you alive. And somebody is stealing food from your house in the middle of the night, and you come to learn that they're going to be doing this for the next 9 months. They're taking your resources without your consent. And there's around a 5 to 10% chance that in the next 9 months you will die because they're taking your resources without your consent. It is very severely decreasing the quality of your life. And the only reason why they're able to take your resources without your consent is because you leave your front door unlocked at night. If you were to turn around right now and lock your front door, they would no longer have access to your resources and they'd be locked out. But they're going to die. Should that be illegal? Should it be illegal for you to lock your front door?
I think that's a completely different analogy.
We'll
I don't
get
think
there.
it's
But first answer the question. Should it be illegal to lock that front door to prevent that person from stealing half of your resources to keep them alive even if they die as a result?
No, because there are other methods for them to get those resources.
Oh,
if
that's
you
the
want to
thing.
use a crazy
That's
analogy
the thing.
like
There actually isn't. This person is stealing half of your resources, and if you lock them out, they'll die because they won't have access to any other resources. Should it
well,
be
no,
illegal
and
to
that's
lock them out?
very interesting. Do you mind if I talk for a second?
I just
Because
want a
that's
clear
it's a
answer.
very interesting point. Because
I'll
I'll
let you
no
talk and say whatever
responsibility.
you want after you answer.
I have no responsibility for that person, just like but I do have a responsibility for my orgasms. I don't have a responsibility for that person, but I do have a responsibility for my orgasms. You see the point I'm making?
Victims of
I
rape.
have the responsibility.
Victims of rape are responsible for their orgasms?
Victims of rape are not. And that's where you want to draw the line. But if you want to just focus on that one point, I'm trying to capture the whole entire picture. So yeah, you can exploit my one point and try to bring down my whole argument over it. But that doesn't count for the major abortions that are happening. You're only accounting for an extremely small percentage. So yes, if you want to destroy my whole argument based off that one point, fine. But I think you're a lot smarter than that. I think you have the intellectual ability to take down my whole argument, not just based off of that one point.
So I do. But right now we're talking about the fact that
because you keep exploiting it. You keep using that one tiny point, and I want to have an intellectual conversation with you.
That one tiny point impacts 60 rape victims.
It's such a small percent of abortions.
Adam, do you have self-control?
I do.
Then show me that self-control by letting me speak more than 4 words at a time.
Sure, and I expect the same from you. Thank you.
So to go back to what I was saying, that small point of rape victims, well, that accounts for 60 rape victims that were impregnated as a result of their rape that are being denied access to abortion in 10 of our 50 states because they think just like you do. The first question I asked you was, does your pro-life view include an exception for victims of rape? And you said no, meaning that you think it should be illegal for victims of rape to access abortion. We can talk about the other 97% of abortions that are elective. Once I'm able to convince you that your belief that victims of rape should not have legal access to abortion is completely intelligible, incoherent, and very harmful. Okay? And it seems like I've already done that.
Can I ask
with
you
like
this
2
before?
words. No.
Can I?
Because I
Okay,
want to
no
talk about your belief that you don't think victims of rape should have legal access to abortion. Let's go off of what you said before you started going insane. You told us that you shouldn't be able to get an abortion because you have a responsibility for your orgasms. And you agreed that rape victims don't, implying that you think because rape victims don't have a responsibility for their orgasms, they should have legal access to abortion. Do you concede?
But listen, if I say no, then I guess the conversation is over.
If you say no, if you say that you don't concede and that you still believe that victims of rape shouldn't be able to access abortion, the conversation is not over.
Because I'm not going to change my mind on that, but I really want to debate you on the other side.
So you're not willing to change your mind on that. Why?
I'm not willing to change my mind because let me give you this analogy. If I gave you a lottery ticket, right? And it was the winning lottery ticket. That lottery ticket isn't worth, let's say, $10 million. It isn't worth 20 million, whatever the amount is. If I rip that lottery ticket up, though, what are you going to say? You're going to say, listen, you just lost me $20 million. And I'm saying, nope, it was just a piece of paper. It had no value. It was just a piece of paper. And I'm going to say, no, if you just let me cash it out and go through the entire process, yeah, it might have taken maybe 9 months, but that would have been worth $10 to $20 million. So you can't just rip that up in front of me. You can't say that's worthless. It still has a lot of value.
So you're just telling us that the life of the fetus has moral value. So Adam,
life of the fetus, absolutely.
This is why it's really important for you to listen to me. Okay, I'll say it again. I'm very used to repeating my arguments because Trump supporters come up on the live, get flustered, don't listen. You close your ears, go la 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 like a 3-year-old baby. Maybe you're a fetus fighting for your own rights.
And I'm asking for that same respect back. I haven't insulted you once. I've actually called you an intellectual. So if you want to have an intellectual conversation, you want to make fun of Trump supporters for being blah, 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 I suggest that you try to do that same.
I took it too far when I hurt your ego. I apologize.
You did not hurt my ego at all, actually. But what I'm saying is you like Democrats love to label Republicans as, rash, like strong-minded, like idiots. I'm trying to say that I can sit here and have a calm conversation with you, and I might get excited at some times, but I'll never insult you. I'll only argue with you on your beliefs.
Well, to be fair, I do find it insulting for you to tell me that you'd never be willing to change your mind on something that you can't even give an argument for when this is a debate live.
Not in this small TikTok live. Not in this small period of time.
Okay. Well, then that's why I'm going to expose you for being a dumbass. Like, if you're not here to be open-minded about your beliefs,
okay,
you obviously shouldn't have even joined in the first place. So I'm just going to expose you for being a dumbass. But, hey, man, let's talk. I'll stop with the insults because obviously you're using that as ammo to detract from a conversation about what you believe in and why. So I'll concede. I'll give it up. I'll stop with all the insults so you can't detract from the substance of genuine conversation with me. That's fair. Let's get into it. So it's really important for you to listen to me on this. You can be pro-life. You can think that the life of a fetus has moral value, but you could still think that victims of rape should deserve access to abortion. Here's why. Because victims of rape have absolutely no obligation to provide for the resources in which the fetus requires to live. I gave you an analogy to demonstrate my point, and I'll give it to you again. If somebody breaks into your house at night and steals half of your food, okay, and they're going to be doing this for 9 months, and you know that there's a 5 to 10% chance that this will kill you, and it will severely decrease the quality of your life because they're stealing your resources from you without consent, would you be doing anything wrong if you were to lock your front door at night, which would prevent them from stealing half your food, even if they were to die as a result? You said no. You said it would not be wrong, that should be legal. And the reason you said it's not wrong and should be legal is because you have no obligation to provide for the resources of that random person stealing them from you. Okay, well, my argument is that neither do victims of rape. You could assume that the life of the fetus is morally valuable. You could assume that they have a right to life. But at the end of the day, the victim of rape has no obligation to sustain the life of the fetus, allowing it to survive in their uterus and supply it their bodily resources. So that is how you could justify granting rape victims access to legal abortion, even if you think a fetus is morally valuable and you are pro-life.
So I like this because it seems like we've gotten somewhere. I think you're starting to go a little bit more on the abortion side. I think you're starting to agree with me now, besides on that one point about the rape point. But let me tell you this. let me tell you this.
Can you respond?
If there is no other way for that person to survive besides using my resources, this is just me because I'm a very morally correct person. I would support them. If that other person has no other way to survive.
Do you think it should be illegal for you not to support them?
I think it's extremely morally incorrect.
Should it be illegal for you to lock your front door at night, even if they die as a result?
If I answer, can I explain why, or are you just gonna go on a rampage about how I'm an idiot?
No, I don't mind you explaining your answer.
Okay. I think it should be illegal, and I'll explain this because what do women do that sometimes exposes themselves to rape? Women should have the right to dress however they want, do whatever they want, and that's no brainer. But what we can't control is how some people choose to act. That's something we can never control. And women have to take those repercussions. We have to show them. We not show them because I think using that as an Wait, why was I just muted? I was just trying to explain myself. Just like a man should know how to...
Hey. What did you do to cause me to mute you? You dumbass.
You explain to me. I don't think I...
Whoa, why are you getting heated because I called you a dumbass? It's your fault for causing me to call you a dumbass. Wait, stop talking. I'm going to interrupt you.
Because that's...
No, I'm going to interrupt you again.
Because that's
No, wait. Why are you getting upset because I'm interrupting you? What did you do to cause me to interrupt you?
I'm asking you to
It is your fault that I called you a dumbass. It is your fault that I muted you. And it is your fault that I muted you. And it's your fault that I interrupted you. You caused me to call you a dumbass. You caused me to mute you. And you caused me to interrupt you. I am at no fault and you are at total fault. In fact, it is your fault that I'm treating these things like you. So all of this energy that you are giving to me right now, you're so angry for why? Why are you angry that I called you a dumbass? Shouldn't you go look in a mirror and be angry at yourself that you caused me to call you that? Why are you angry that I interrupted you? Shouldn't you go look in a mirror and be angry at yourself because I caused you to interrupt you? You're so mad at me for muting you? Why? Go be angry at yourself because you caused me to mute you. It is your fault. Everything. Oh my God. Oh wait. Wait. Yeah, you should be so angry because you are completely at fault that we are not having a better conversation. Why are you trying to put any blame on me? You should wait. You don't think that I want a better conversation. Why are you angry at me for that? It is your fault that I don't want a better conversation. It is your fault. You are to blame.
Two statements I made on this live that you ran away with.
Hey, sir, you are to blame that I don't want to have a productive conversation with you.
You have the inability to focus on an argument as a whole.
Wait, sir.
You love to take statements and run.
Hear me out.
There are set stone statements that you cannot hear and you cannot open your mind to.
It is 110%.
You are not here to debate.
Hey, Adam, guess what? It's your fault. You should be mad at yourself that I'm not here to debate. You caused me to be not here to debate. Is that fair for me to say?
You haven't debated with one person.
Is it fair for me to say that it's your fault and that you've caused me to not be here to debate?
You've spent the last 5 minutes trying to say that. And
answer my question. Is it fair for me to say that it's your fault that I called you a dumbass? Your fault that I've muted you. Your fault that I've interrupted you. Is it your fault that I keep muting you because you're causing me it? You're causing me to keep muting you. Is that fair for me to say?
Explain why. You can't. Explain why. I think you've forgotten at this point. I think now you just have to ride on this fact that I said.
The irony. Hey, guess what? Everything that I've done and said to you in the last 10 minutes has just been a reflection of your argument that somehow victims of rape are to blame for getting raped. Guess what? I just acted out on you. I was a total and complete a-hole. I called you mean names. I interrupted you just to interrupt you. I muted you just to mute you. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? If your logic is true, if you're winning this debate, it's all your fault and I shouldn't be to blame at all, because guess what? The same way, apparently, victims of grape cause that grape, you're causing all this too. It's your fault. Wow, this logic, man, it's crazy. I could do anything I want. I could do anything I want to whomever I want when I want.
You remember
and
what
guess
I
what?
said?
It is their fault.
Forgot.
Whoa.
You're
Adam,
putting this on me when you're the one that's been calling me an a-hole, when you're the one that's been cursing at me, calling me a dumbass. How about
the same way you put it on the fucking rape victims. You sat up here and you told me that it is their fault for dressing promiscuously, for dressing in a particular way, that it is their fault that they got raped. See, now you get it. Now you get it. Oh, he has his first conscious experience ever. You don't get it when it's a 10-year-old girl getting violated by their father, but you do get it when it's you getting called a DMUB ASS on a TikTok live.
Cancel culture at its finest. Cancel culture at its finest. The reason I made that point was to show that we have to take repercussions to stop the source, not stop the product. If we stop it at its source, we can much more fast come to a solution. You're just saying, oh, let's put a bandage on it. I'm saying, no, let's stop it at its source. Let's stop fathers from raping their 10-year-old children, because that's disgusting.
What's the source of grape?
If you want to reduce the likelihood of that happening, you shouldn't vote for a guy that was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman that said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years.
Wait, Parker, real quick, before we talk about Trump, I'm
proud of myself.
I gotta
look what I did.
I gotta
Parker.
address this to Adam, because Adam's arguing that when a woman gets raped, it's the woman's fault.
Disgusting.
So like that's what I want to argue. So real quick, what is the source of grape? What is the source of SA? You tell me.
The source of rape can vary. It can go from mental illness. It could go from seeing terrible examples. But I think we have to start enforcing these things from the core. I think we have.
So mental illness. Now, who possesses that mental illness? The perpetrator of the grape or the victim of the grape?
100% the perpetrator. 100.
So in other words, the perpetrator is the source of grape. So how come earlier
you
were
can't
talking about what women are wearing when they get graped?
That's fucking disgusting.
Woman, let me speak this, because if you mute me, it's just gonna go straight to one statement that I made, and you're.
Dude, I could do whatever the fuck I want to you, and it's your fault. Because that's your logic.
Then we can't debate.
Well,
you can keep muting me, and it just goes.
If it means that we can't debate, then it's still your fault that we can't debate. Because keep in mind, I get to do whatever I want to you, and it's your fault. Because you're saying that men get to do whatever they want to women, and it's the woman's fault. If you're going to argue this logic, at least maintain consistency in the logic, right?
I mean, this just goes to show the Democratic Party and how they choose to act. You can do whatever you want. You can
keep in mind, your logic implies that you're causing me to act this way.
But that's never logical in a debate.
Okay.
That's never.
So if you're not causing me to act the way I am to you, how do women cause men to act the way they do to them in circumstances of grape?
Women don't cause it. They never cause it. It is never their fault, but they can definitely take measures to prevent it.
Okay.
That's what you're not understanding.
Okay, yeah, like what? Carrying a 9/11? I support it. Yeah. Pro 2A for women's rights? That's a version of feminism that I like. Strap up, ladies. Hell yeah. Keep men like Adam very, very far away, ladies. Keep men like Adam very, very far away, right? But so in this idea is relevant to the argument I gave you about why you should make an exception for grape victims in your view of abortion. In what way is this is this relevant? Because remember.
So you're trying to point it on me that I drove us away from relevance.
Yeah.
You're the one who brought us here. You're the one who got us here. I was the one who was trying to focus on the actual topic of abortion.
Yeah, you're just applying the same victim-blaming logic you were earlier to me now. You're saying that it's my fault that you went off topic, just like you're saying it's women's fault that they get raped. That's what you said.
Stop muting me.
So once again, Adam, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to respond to the position that victims of grape should have access to abortion, even if you think that the fetus is valuable, because victims of grape have no obligation to provide for the resources in which a fetus would need to live.
Okay. Moral innocence. Are you familiar with the innocence principle? That the fetus had nothing to do with it?
Yeah, sure.
And we can't give that fetus any less moral value because of its conception.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think even if like something in which is not culpable for a rights infringement is infringement.
Give me a second. There's a ego on my screen.
Logan! With the goddamn bald eagle! Raw! America! USA! USA!
Wait, so Parker's only here for glazing reasons, right? Just to glaze and be like,
yeah,
I'm just being respectful and letting people talk. I can dunk on you if you'd like.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Wait, I have a question,
wait,
Adam. Are you Christian?
Thank you.
Adam, are you
Thank
Christian?
Logan. Shout out Logan.
Adam, are you Christian?
Huge shout out Logan, bro. Holy shit.
I'm trying to respond, but I keep getting muted, Parker.
Okay. Are you Christian?
It's his fault.
I'm not Christian.
No, you're not.
I'm not Christian.
Okay. All right. So in terms of like I'll give you a scenario. Do you think that like if you were in a burning building and it was the case that you could either save, right, 5 embryos or 1 newborn baby, that you would save the 5 embryos?
I mean, are they healthy embryos? Like, are they only healthy?
They're healthy embryos. In the future, they will be people.
Well, I mean, this is a really, really bad argument because those embryos would be inside of pregnant women. So without a doubt, pregnant women are always the #1 value.
Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, and that's why you think they shouldn't be able to get access to abortion or have autonomy over their bodies?
I think they should not be able to kill a baby,
even if they were assaulted.
So bad.
Well, not a baby, like an embryo.
An embryo that's inside of them, that's implanted into their endometrium.
Wait, but like the example that I gave, right? You can have embryos outside of the womb. You know that, right?
Yes, but it's not a blastocyst. It was not implanted into the endometrium for.
Are you saying it's only valuable once it's implanted?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, okay. So you're saying prior to implantation, it's not valuable?
Prior to implantation is a gray line, but the thing is, you'll never be able to detect that. So no.
Is it valuable? I'm just asking. Is it valuable prior to implantation?
What the fuck?
Because then how would because then it goes to in vitro fertilization.
This view is just completely incoherent. Like, if you say that the life of like the fetus is morally valuable because it's a human, guess what? It's still a human before implantation. You don't think it's valuable. If you say that it's morally valuable because it has a future like ours,
has no potential to become a human if it's not in the female reproductive tract.
1 second, it is already a human.
But it has no potential.
The only distinction is location.
Let's go back to my lottery example.
It's literally Adam, your view is that the location of the entity makes it more valuable. That's it.
And also, like,
not the qualities that it has.
I'd also like to point out like the gibberish of what you're saying. You're saying that it doesn't have the potential to be a human before implantation. Biologically speaking, it is a human before implantation. Its conception is which would denote the biological.
Let me explain. Can you stop muting me so I can explain? Because
conception would denote the biological start of human life.
You're embarrassing.
Not only does it have the potential to be human, it just already is.
What can I do? What can I do if you're going to keep muting me? How can we debate if you're just going to keep muting me?
I was only muting you because I was speaking.
No, I know, but
I think Parker did that one first.
Just now, I was mid-sentence. I mean, this has to be a game for you. This has to be a game. Like,
to be fair,
I mean, clearly,
it's pretty funny. See now, Parker's having fun. I've been having the fun for a while.
I literally just did it twice. I just had to do it.
This is why Charlie Kirk lit both of you up because you guys are just kids.
I didn't have a mute button.
Charlie Kirk completely smoked both of you because you guys are kids.
On what point did Charlie Kirk beat us on?
Dude, you traveled so far to ask Elon Musk a question, to ask Charlie Kirk a question about Elon Musk.
No, I didn't. I did not travel far. That's in LA.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
That's in LA. I live in LA.
I don't even take you seriously. I'm here for Dean.
What do you mean I traveled so far? I live in LA.
And Dean, I completely lost respect for.
Wait. Charlie Kirk traveled more than I did. What are you talking about? Why did he go to
Cambridge?
To go
to Cambridge, yes.
No, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about California.
To ask him a question about Elon Musk putting up a fucking salute.
Yeah, that was at California State University, Northridge. I also asked him about slavery, where he explicitly said that like the Bible was wrong in Exodus.
Can this guy calm the Adam real quick? We need to take a tea real quick. Can you calm
do you
the
remember
fuck
how
down?
Dean, you were like jumping up and down, like literally like right before you brought up Parker, so passionate and so mad.
Look at where I sit today. Can you calm down too?
I know
like
now,
I did?
but now you're chill. Do you not remember what you were 10 minutes ago? You were a beast.
Can you
You
chill
were going
out too?
absurd.
So
Adam, are you okay, bro?
So just real quick, man.
I'm
You
fine.
are
I'm fine. I just
freaking
have
out.
people who like to listen. I'm in a debate right now.
second.
I can get excited about my points.
Haley,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I'm
for
in
the
a debate
10
too.
Thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Haley says thank you for standing up against the guest. Yeah, thank you so much for the love, Haley. Show some love to Haley down below in the comment section. As well as Lily, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo saying I fucking love you. This conversation is amazing. Yeah, this guy's just getting embarrassed and like flipping his shit. Thank you for the love, Lily. Let's get 150 Lily W's. That is
You
LILI.
crashed out. Dean, you literally crashed out like 10 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing is like my crash outs are valid, and when I crash out, I cook. When you
Oh,
crash
sorry,
out, you
sorry.
just make yourself look like an 8th grader, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro.
You
Like,
can't even
Like
you can't
Adam,
even
let's
see.
just assess for a second the difference between
your
what Dean was
bangs were
crashing out
jumping-
about and what you were crashing out about. Dean was crashing out about the fact that you were literally blaming victims for being assaulted, right? And you were crashing out about what?
Also, I want it to be known that crash out was intentional because once again, according to your logic, that crash out was your
still crashed
fault.
out.
And it
Stop.
the crash
Then
out.
actually, the muting right now is his fault. Did he know that?
Well, yeah, so that's like the reason I've like done all this. It's been a demonstration of your logic. Like, how do you like it when it's used against you? Like all these shitty men, including yourself, like to peddle the same grape culture bullshit about how it's a woman's fault for getting raped because of what they're wearing or where they're going to. But as soon as I use that same logic against you and I blame all of my actions against you, on you, all of a sudden it's an issue. Okay? When it's a woman that's being raped, it's not an issue, it's her fault. But when it's Adam being muted, it is an issue and it's not his fault. Make it make sense. I got a couple more donations to thank. Stevani, thank you so much for the... One moment, why?
I never said it was her fault.
Stevani, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Stevani
This
says...
is how the left
One moment,
debates,
I'm
by
thanking my
shushing,
donation. I'm
by
thanking my
disrespecting,
donations.
by
I'm respecting my
disrespecting, by
donors.
not bringing up, by lying.
I'm
by
thanking,
lying.
I'm thanking
this
my
is
donors.
how the left debates.
Stop crashing out while I'm thanking my donors. Stevani, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Let's get 200 Stevani W's. Stevani says WD and WU, as well as Sophia. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Sophia says that somebody's been SA'd. Thank you for standing up for us. Dude, it's like the bare fucking minimum. I really appreciate you for the love, though. Let's get 500 Sophia W's, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. As well as Jada, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you for muting his victim blaming. Yeah, that shit was embarrassing, dude. As well as Lillian, thank you so much for the $20
I'm
over
right
on Venmo.
here, and you're disrespecting me. This is how the left
Damn
is.
straight. Lillian, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Lillian says thank you for standing up for us because they never
You remember how
listened to the
nice I
women.
was when I
He's
first...
not even listening to me, dude. JC, thank you for the $5 as well. As well
This
as...
live has gone
One moment,
2,500
as well
viewers,
as
and it had a 25...
Morgan, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo as well.
What?
As well as Jonda.
2,500 viewer
I'm
increase because of me.
almost thanking my donors, buddy. Go start your own live, see how many
25
viewers you'll get. Go start your own live, see how many
Dean
views
gets
that you
this
get.
every day. Dean gets this every day. What are you talking about? Go live, Adam.
As well as Jonda, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Jonda. Let's get 200 Jonda W's. Jonda says, God knows dealing with these guests, you need compensation. Jonda, I love you. Shout out to Jonda down below. As well as ADA
Yo, if
with
you
a
support
$10.
me, give me some more love. You almost
As
passed
well as,
Parker.
as well as ADA, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Ariana with a $1, Santa with a $5, and ANSGAR with a $20 over on PayPal. Thank you, ANSGAR. Heather with a 10, as well as Catherine with a 15, Keith with a 15.
I can't speak. I
And
keep
Charlotte,
getting
thank
muted.
you
I
so
don't
much
know.
for the $30 over on PayPal. Let's get 300 Charlotte W's down below. And Brianna with a
Anyone have any
75.
suggestions?
Let's get 1,000 Brianna W's.
You guys
Holy
can
shit,
tweet
what
me
is going
and then
on?
explain
And then
me on
Milady,
points
thank
that
you
I
so
couldn't
much for the
finish.
$10 over on
And he's
Venmo.
even lying
And then
about
Jenna,
something.
Jenna, thank you for the $10
I'm not
over
sure
on
what
Venmo
to
as well.
do.
Thank you,
He's
Milady and
muted
Jinda and
me.
Brianna.
Do
Guys,
I
thank you
leave?
so much for all the love.
Do I just
Let's get
leave?
some massive W's for all the donors. Okay,
when
I'm,
I came in here, it was extremely
I'm
respectful.
done thanking all the
to him.
donors.
I'm like, hey, Dean, what's
Hey,
up,
hey
brother?
Adam, can you
How
please
are
show some
you?
love to the donors?
Can I please show some love to the donors?
Yeah, say W
Well,
on the
no,
donors.
most
Like W
of
Brianna.
them, most of them have showed me no love. But the ones who are donating to me, boys, let's keep doing this. Boys and girls, keep doing this. I am lighting Dean up.
Yeah.
I will continue to light Dean up.
What a fucking grifter. No, I was like asking you to thank like Brianna for donating me $75. Can you do that?
Yes, but like it's Brianna donating or whoever donated, and then they're like, "Yeah, thank you for destroying this guy." Like, why would I give them love? Like, you're smarter than that, Dean. Like,
Because it's
what? Like,
because
is
it's a
that
very
smart for me
kind
to
thing
do?
to do.
Someone who just said like, "Thank you for destroying this guy." Why would I, Dean? Like, do you understand the words coming out of your mouth right now?
Kira, thank you for the galaxy. Like, could you get a little W, Kira? Yeah. Or like Antonia, thank you for the $5 on PayPal.
I don't know. We should have asked the Democrats at that House meeting to clap for the kid with brain cancer. That would have been a better idea, right?
So the reason that they weren't clapping wasn't
We
because
should-
the kid had brain cancer, but it's because Donald Trump was tokenizing the kid with brain cancer. You do
Thanks for
realize that he's
muting-
defunded $1.2 trillion for
Muting
Medicaid
me.
and Medicare over the next 10 years with a proposition of the BBB, which also redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich, which actively defunds systems in which supply care and support to children with brain cancer. Why would they
Thanks,
clap for tokenization?
ChatGPT. Thanks, ChatGPT.
You're just calling me
You just
intelligent, and I appreciate it.
spoke. You just said words. Like, you just said words I could have searched on my. Nobody's listening.
Adam, can you repeat what Dean just said?
No, I didn't listen to a single word because you guys keep
I
muting
can
me. I'm
tell.
trying to
Wait,
talk.
Adam, muting you doesn't restrict you from listening to him.
It does because when I'm
It
trying
really
to make
doesn't.
a point and he
It
mutes
actually
me and
doesn't.
then
Did
talks
you
over
know
me,
that the mute
I'm
button
still
does not
focused on the
affect your?
point that I'm trying to make. I'm still focused
It
on
doesn't
that.
affect the headphones at all. Like literally not at all.
Parker, do you understand what I'm saying? I thought you were smart. He doesn't have.
Wait,
to.
thank you for the
do understand
$5
what you're
on
saying. That's why I
PayPal.
was responding to it. I was saying literally, like you being muted does not affect your ability to hear what he's saying.
Parker, I don't understand what you're going on about right now.
But what's
He's
confusing
muting
about
you.
what I just said? And that does not affect your ability to
I'm
hear what he said.
I'm mid sentence and he mutes me and I don't know that I'm muted and I'm still trying to talk. Then I look down and I see that I'm muted and that he's rambling on about something that sounds like it
Siri,
came from
thank you for the
ChatGPT.
$5 on PayPal.
I can't focus on it.
Okay, all right. Would you like him to say it one more time for you?
I could ChatGPT that, but the point that I'm trying to make is
that
I
just
could
tells
ask
me that you weren't
ChatGPT
even concerned with trying to listen to it, regardless. So it's not
because
Dean's fault,
because
your
it's a
fault.
ridiculous point he was trying to make. He was asking me.
Well,
to
then
favor
you didn't even know what the
voters,
point
and
was.
he was
You didn't
supporting
even
the
know.
Democrats.
How is
not
it a
clapping for
ridiculous
kid with
point if
brain
you don't know
cancer.
what the point is? Please explain to me.
Yo,
What are you
guys,
talking
keep sending
about?
me love.
You don't
Keep
even
sending
know
me
what
love.
the
You
point
support what
is.
I'm
How
doing.
could it be ridiculous?
I got
Answer that.
Parker up here. Parker wasn't up here before, and I'm lighting both of them up. Keep showing me love, guys.
Adam, the reason why I got on is because I was getting on for the day because I just got done playing video games with my girlfriend. What are you talking about?
So your tactic is to basically say some random shit, and then say that you don't want a counter argument, and then to grift for money. Oh wow, I think somebody showed me love instead of showing you love. Carly with the $50 on Venmo and Callie with the $50 on Venmo. Oh my god. Show some love to Carly and Callie down below in the comment section. Carly says, F you, Adam. Callie says, keep destroying him. And then Alana with the $50 as well saying, this Adam guy's a danger to all women. Please tell me it was recorded and we could roll back the tapes. Oh yeah, it's all recorded on the YouTube stream. Thank you, Alana, for the 50, Callie with the 50, and Carly with the 50. Guys, thank you so much. Let's show some love to Carly, Callie, and Alana down below in the chat. I think maybe like you asked for people to show you love, and then I had 3 people donate me $50 and like, I don't know, 20 seconds.
Well, this is your live.
Wow,
so I
AJ,
respect
thank you for the $20 over on Venmo as well.
mean,
I
it's
really
pretty
appreciate
obvious
that,
you're the
AJ.
one-
Somebody
you're the
pass
one
Adam his pacifier. He obviously needs it so much, Adam. Thank you for the $20.
I mean, thank you.
As well as Andre with the $20 over on
YouTube
YouTube Super Chat as well.
Thank you for the zero intellect insult. I appreciate that. It really goes to show the way the left debates. I really appreciate that. I enjoy
Thank
it.
you for the galaxy. I think that if you'll allow me to speak without interruption, you've really...
Of course. I wish you would do the same for me. Now go ahead.
I think that you've really demonstrated how the right debates, and what I mean by that is you've
Thank
said
you.
like 3 times since our conversation started that you're going to believe in what you believe in, regardless of what I say. And even when you'll make a point and I disprove it and refute it, you won't listen to my response, but then you will discredit and say that my response is false, even though you didn't listen to it in the first place. A good example of this relates to your claim that Democrats in Congress didn't clap for a child with brain cancer. Okay, and I responded to that by saying, well, it's not that they weren't clapping for a child with brain cancer,
Except that they
weren't
were.
clapping for Donald Trump tokenizing a child with brain cancer. Why would I say that Donald Trump was tokenizing this child? Well, he was acting like he cared about him, but then he turns around and advocates for the big, beautiful bill, which defunds $1.2 trillion for Medicaid and Medicare in the next 10 years, when that $1.2 trillion is spent on servicing children with brain cancer.
Okay. Again. You muted me as I was giving my point and started to talk about that. It's not like I negated your point.
I muted you while I was speaking.
You muted me
after I told you that I wanted to speak without interruption. If you were not interrupting me, then me muting you in the middle of my speech shouldn't have been an issue. The only reason it was an issue is because you were interrupting me.
Okay, Dean, can I speak because you keep muting me like midpoint and I can't get anything out? So
Yeah, feel free to
if I
respond
have
to
like
what I
a
just said.
Okay, but can you not mute me?
Yep.
Okay. So again, for
He didn't make me. He didn't make me say it.
So can I speak?
Adam, thank you for the interstellar. Holy shit!
I expected this
Show
from
some love to
Parker.
Adam down below in the comment section.
I
Thank you so
expected this
much,
from
Adam.
Parker. You guys are really showing your left supporters how you guys work.
What, dude? Come
And
on,
I
come
hope-
on. I'm sorry if you do that. Like, I'm always practically gonna do that. Yo, Adam, thank you for the interstellar.
I hope
Can we
the
get some
people on the
W's
left
for
that are
Adam in the
watching
comment section for the
can see
interstellar?
now
Thank you so much, Adam.
what the left is like, how they keep muting me. Like you guys,
Adam, we get it.
but I'm
Would you like to
actually
run a
coming with
point?
Great points.
Would you like to run a point?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to chew the ice with my mic unmuted. I thought it was muted.
If I can run a point without being muted, I would love to.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, more specifically, could you respond to my explanation insofar as why the Democrats in Congress didn't clip for Donald Trump's tokenization of a child with brain cancer?
Yes, and I guarantee I'll be muted very fast. Number one, the kid has brain cancer. The kid has brain cancer, regardless if it's tokenizing, whatever. The kid just literally lived his dreams. And they can't even clap. They got the kid into the Secret Service. I mean, that was beautiful. Call it tokenizing, call it this, call it that. The kid has brain. You should clap for him. You should show him support. That's something where we remove politics from, regardless of what the right's trying to do. You're just assuming that people are very one-dimensional. You're assuming the worst of people, that they can't see through these things. But to not clap for a kid with brain cancer is ridiculous. And it goes to show that the left puts their emotions over facts, puts their feelings over their facts.
You're
They don't
currently
like Donald
complaining
Trump.
on the live instead of giving us a policy. Right? What do you mean? We base
We're
on
not
our
talking
emotions.
policy right now. We're not
Well,
talking
then
policy.
let's
right
talk
now.
policy. Let's talk.
I don't
what
want
you-
to
let's
talk
what your
policy.
posi-
I don't want to talk policy.
Exactly, because you're
we
only
haven't,
gonna.
we haven't even got to my point on abortion. And you guys want to change the topic.
What do
We
you
have
mean change
gotten
the
so
topic?
far
You-
past. We
Go
have
ahead and talk
gotten
about
so
anything
far.
specific.
We have got Parker, even before you were here, before you were called up to Glaze Dean, me and Dean were, Glaze, that's all you've been doing. You haven't came up with one good point besides muting me and literally saying, yeah, bro, I don't know what this guy's saying. That's literally what you've been doing.
Because you haven't had a point that's substantive yet.
Because you have no intellect. I mean,
I have
literally,
no
this is-
intellect. Okay, let's debate. You want to go?
Let's talk about abortion. I came up
give
here
me
for
anything.
abortion. Can we talk about abortion outside of the scope of rape? Because the minute we talk about that, you guys start muting me. You guys start getting all angry and stuff like that.
You know what? Sure. If you could respond to the argument I gave to demonstrate why you as a pro-life individual should uphold an exception for great victims, we can move on. But the reason why I'm not
That's
willing...
That's the thing. You're smart enough to know that 10 minutes won't change my mind. So we can't do that.
So if you're saying that I can't change your mind on your position as it relates to great victims, how would I be able to change your mind on anything else?
Yeah. Wait.
What we're doing now is we're debating to advance our knowledge, and maybe once when we're doing our research, go, oh, maybe he did have a point.
Okay, so
But
then,
right
so then
now,
respond.
There's
So
too
then
much
so
emotion.
then give me a
There's too much
counter-argument.
emotion. Clearly, that you guys.
If you can't give me a counter argument, I'm going to classify you as an idiot and kick you from my stream, and I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's very fair. I'm even giving you a heads up, a little warning. Isn't that cute?
Thanks for muting me again. I really appreciate that.
Do you want to try to respond to the counter argument?
What's the counter argument?
Repeat it for a fifth fucking time.
I've done
I'll
the
do it
same
nonetheless.
thing. Thank you for doing it for me. Thank you for showing me the same respect that I showed you.
You haven't had to repeat anything more than once.
I've had to repeat
out of
many
necessity.
things. Thank you.
You've not had to repeat anything out of necessity. See, unlike you, I listen. But anyways, so the reason why victims of rape should have legal access to abortion, even if the life of the fetus is morally valuable, is because they have no obligation to provide for the necessities that the life of the fetus requires to live. I gave you the analogy of somebody taking half of your food while you're sleeping, and the way that you could prevent them from doing this is by locking your front door at night. You said it should be legal for you to lock your front door at night to prevent that theft, even if they die as a result. What this would imply is that it is okay to revoke access to your resources from another individual, which is taking them without your consent, even if they die as a result. This justifies great victims' access to abortion, even under the view that the life of the fetus is morally valuable. What is your refutation? Let's hear it.
So let me start off. You've been giving me a lot of yes or no. So the lock your door thing, let me rephrase that. What you guys are saying is that I have the right to go and shoot that guy so he doesn't try to take my resources. I have the right to kill him so he doesn't have any opportunity to exploit my resources. Would you disagree?
Yeah, I would. I would disagree with you. And because I disagree with you, I'm going to kick you. Like, I give you this analogy 4 times about locking your front door at night to prevent theft. And then you're like, oh, so you're going to shoot them with a gun? Holy bad fate. Holy rage bait, honestly. Holy fucking rage bait. Let's go to move on to the next guest. I choose space. Moving on to the next guest. I've seen like a group of like 5 dudes in the comment section go from saying that Dean is 5'6", to saying that Dean is 5'4", to Dean is 5'1", to Dean is 5 foot. Now they're saying that Dean is 4'10". Are they just going to continue to go down and down and down? Just keep it going. Keep going down and down. What's up, Kai? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
20.
Okay. You got a little bit of feedback or an echo there.
Oh, do I? Hold on, my bad.
All right. While he's fixing that, everybody, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen, y'all. And
Dean, what's up with you copying me today, bro?
What am I copying you about?
The shirt, bro.
Is it better now? Or
Yo,
no?
W matching search. W matching shirts, dude. Let's go.
Dude, you're copying. It's
Technically,
crazy.
I was live first,
Parker
so
clone.
you are copying.
What do you mean? I put on the shirt first. That's all I gotta say.
Unreal. Yo, Heather, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal, as well as Fanta. Thank you for the $20. Let's get 200 Fanta W's. And Michelle with the $85 donation over on PayPal. Michelle gave us one message and one message only. Michelle says, F Adam, bro. Let's get 1,000 Michelle W's in that chat for the very kind $85 donation and the awesome message. Let's go, Michelle. As well as Desmond, what's up? Are you MAGA?
I am.
You are. How old are you?
I'm 18 now.
18. What year are you born in? I'm going to take a guess and assume that he wasn't 18. Let's go and get that next Mega Droid up in the box. Tree, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo.
Mega
Jenna with a
Droid.
5. Sydney with a 5. Kayla with a 5. Tara with a 10. And Marie with a 5 as well. Guys, I do really appreciate you guys for all the love over on Venmo and PayPal. You guys have been incredibly kind today. Also, bro, that bald eagle earlier, if you're still watching, was a W, okay? All right? We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here.
Let me say thank you to some people real quick. Olivia, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I did not see that. Louise, thank you so much for the $5. Juliet, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As well as Lindsay, thank you for the $5. Kimberly with the $10. Thank you so much for Tell Dean he's 78. And Mike, thank you for the $5. It's great. Thank you.
There we go. All right, Murdoch, what's up? You MAGA?
Did you hear that, Dean? You're 78.
Actually, I just came up to say to the other guy, the one that you all muted, he's kind of been a douche, and that's coming from someone
Christian.
who did vote MAGA.
Yo, W, bro. Yo, first W Trump supporter in like the last century. Yo, that's
Najia,
right.
thank you for the $2.
That's
No,
right.
we actually did not
That's
plan on
right.
wearing
That's
the
right.
same color shirts.
That's
I think this is the first time we've ever done that, probably, without realizing.
I let him talk just because I knew that was coming. I just knew that one was coming. I knew it, dude. W. All right, moving on to the next guest. What is going on, Casey? Are you MAGA?
What's going on, man? Y'all got to make up with Harry, man, and Chris, man. We need to group back together, man. Get back together with Harry and Chris, man. Come on, man. He was just getting the hoes, bro. Come on, we all like the women, bro. Get back with him, bro. Come on. Like, I
The
would.
great reunion, Casey. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see it happening. Um, is it possible in the future? Like, yeah. It's just like purely dependent upon like an individual's ability to like recognize particular wrongdoings, correction, and action, and like a sense of accountability. You know, like I think people could change. I do, but I just haven't seen it yet. Nick, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump, but I'm not 18. I'm 17. Is it still good for me to be on?
Unfortunately
No,
not,
you
but that's
can't.
just TikTok TOS. We're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. Just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here, y'all. We got John's loading into the box. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. Go ahead and drop a MAGA demo in the comment section if you would like to come up, guys. We're just looking for a single fucking Trump supporter. John, do you support
Hello,
Trump?
sir. Kimberly, thank you for the $2. They said no, 7'8". That's what they said.
Dude, let's go 7'8". Hell yeah. Okay. All right, John. So why do you support Trump?
First of all, because he's the greatest president of all time.
Oh, Jesus Christ, John. If he's the greatest president of all time, this must mean that he has some massive accomplishments under his belt. What is his biggest accomplishment that has solidified him as the greatest president of all time in your mind?
Wait, I'm going to go get my mic real quick. Give me 5 seconds.
Dude, you already have a mic on your phone. Just answer the question.
I can't hear y'all.
So you hear me with a headset. And yes, you do hear me, or you wouldn't have been able to answer my question on why you support Trump. What games is this guy playing?
All right, I'm back.
Okay, all right. So you said that you think
Hello?
that Donald Trump is
Hello?
the best president of all time. So what's the best policy he's ever passed that has solidified him as the best president ever?
He's stopping wars.
What wars is he stopping?
Ukraine.
No, that's not true. He just defunded all
Yes, it is.
humanitarian aid.
Yes, it is.
Name any material progression that has been made insofar as ending the Russian-Ukrainian war in the last 120 days.
Sorry, what?
Name any progress he's made in stopping the war since his term begun.
He's donating to stop the wars.
Donating to stop. So he actually stopped the donations to stop the wars.
All right, let me just
right the donations of a couple $2 billion to help the victim.
No, just to stop.
Okay, so basically
he's trolling. There's
Get in
no
the
way.
middle.
You're just saying. So you're just saying that he's stopping it. Like that's all. Like you don't have any
Can I
substance. You're just saying it to
Can I
say
talk?
it. No, you're just using like 6-month-old talking points. This talking point doesn't work anymore since he's like only emboldened Russia to drop their biggest bombs yet on Ukraine.
Yeah. All right, but can I say something?
I thought that's what you were saying.
Go ahead. Say what you'd like. Let's hear.
So, well, I got a brain fart, but
Okay, interesting.
Well,
Wow, dude. This is the smartest Trump supporter I think I've ever
Wait.
talked to.
wait, give me a second.
No worries, bro. Take your time, dude. Take your time. I just may end up accidentally kicking you. What's going on, Nathan? Are you MAGA?
Hello, how are you guys?
Dude, I'm doing great, bro. Are you MAGA?
Yeah, but I have I am, but I kind of got questions.
Okay, before we get into that, let me also age check Abe. Are you MAGA, Abe?
No.
Okay, Nathan. Why are you MAGA?
So, I was a big Trump guy before he became in his second term, but now the more he is, I guess, doing his thing, the more I wish he was never president. So I'm kind of curious on what policies did Kamala have that would have made her a better fit.
I'm not gonna lie. At this point, the election was just so long ago.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
If you just
Can I
want,
ask
if you just want,
different question?
if you just want to research Kamala Harris's policies
Yeah.
and like
I have
retrospect
a
to
second
know what you
question
missed
then.
out
A
on,
quick question.
just go to like the archives of her website.
Okay,
Well,
and then
one thing I think that I would tell you is that Democrats oftentimes prioritize things like healthcare, childcare, housing affordability, policies that will help the middle class, whereas Republicans, historically speaking, have supported policies that disproportionately help the rich.
I understand. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Of course. Thanks for coming up. What's up, Flo King? Right?
What's up, you guys?
You got a little. Are you MAGA?
I'm not MAGA.
Okay, I had to kick you because you had an echo, and then also because you're not MAGA. I appreciate you for coming up, though. We got Bob707 loaded in. Oh, Bob. Michelle, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo.
Cookie King smog you.
No, he doesn't. Shut up, Bob.
No. Cookie King gets mogged. That's what it is. Can I say thank you to some people real quick?
Yeah.
Carla, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo.
Yo.
Thank you so much for awesome job with the Peterson debate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Can we get some W's for Carla in the comment section for the $100 on Venmo? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was glad that I got it. I got the ability to be able to do that. That was honestly insane. Thank you so much though, for the $100. Najia, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $55. Thank you so much, Najia. I really appreciate it. Give some W's for Najia in the comment section right now. Thank you for the $55 on Cash App. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As well as fucking Christian with the $200 on PayPal. Can we get some W's for Christian in the comment section right now? Always good to see you, Christian. It's always seriously good to see you. Get some fucking W's for Christian, Najia, in the comment section. Heather, thank you for the $15 as well. Thank you. W's for them in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone.
How are you guys?
What's up, man?
Doing
Do you
good.
support Trump?
Well, I don't necessarily.
They just stood up there for like a little bit.
What's going on, Caden? Are you MAGA?
Dean, you're so fine, just so I could say.
Goodbye, Caden.
And Dean.
I appreciate you for your kindness, though. Moving on to the next guest. We got Sophia loading up.
Dean is actually 15 feet tall. Did you know that?
I thought you were about to say that I'm actually 15 years old. I was like, bro, what?
No. Dean is actually 15 feet tall. Did you know that?
That's right. W 15 feet tall. That's right. That's right. That's right. Heather, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. He says, please respond to Tic Tac Toe. I don't know what you're asking. I feel like you're making an implication about the notorious Tic Tac Toe game. And if so, Heather, that's not invited in this space. That is a banned subject, okay? Just like the Republicans are banned.
Wait, I got a message about that. I was so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Don't even worry about it, bro. Moving
They
on
were
to the
like,
next
I'm
guys.
disappointed you aren't addressing this. I'm looking because I'm like trying to figure out what it is.
Well, don't address it. Let them be disappointed. Everybody, let me know if you're MAGA down below in that chat. We're going to get you up here to debate. I don't know why. I don't know, like, for what reason. It is just so incredibly difficult for us to find any Trump supporters to talk to. So if you're watching and you are personally a Trump supporter and you want to come up and have a conversation, make sure to let us know in that chat. As well as Yashika, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal saying, please say lavender and caramel. Okay, there I said it. Thank you for the $20, Yashika.
Oh, wait, Dean, did you lose a tic-tac-toe game?
Nope. I did not.
You lost a tic-tac-toe game to a MAGA?
No, I'm telling you that I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Chat, am I right?
You mug Cookie King.
Yeah, W.
Yeah.
W. But
Let's
we're
go.
only looking for Trump supporters, even though you're saying that I'm all Cookie King.
He
'Cause they're
did? He did?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
Don't listen to the chat. They're delusional. They're just a bunch of liberals. What's up, Emily? Do you support Trump?
Hi, I don't support him, but I do have a question for you though before you kick.
Sorry, Emily. We need to have a chat once again. We need to do this maybe once every hour or so when people start forgetting the rules. We have rules for joining the guest request. Those rules are you got to be at least 18 years old, you have to be from America, and you have to support Trump. If that's not you, don't join the queue. Please. Please, I am begging you with humility and kindness to please follow the rules of the live stream. There's three
I'm really thinking of $2.
very, very, very simple rules. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Let me know if you're MAGA down below in the comment section right now. And we're going to try to pull you up on the live. It looks like we got Connor loaded in right now. Hopefully Connor follows these three rules. Connor, do you follow the three rules?
The three rules, of course I do.
Okay, all right. You sound like you do. So tell us, why do you support Trump? Also, Jane, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. WU, Jane. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take it away, man.
Because he's the best president in American history.
Oh, geez. Get a load of this guy.
What makes you think that?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What makes you think that?
Oh, it's showing that. It's showing. Oh, we can hear Connor again. Okay, yeah, take it away. So why do you think Donald Trump is literally the best president ever?
Because he just is. He's got all the best policies
He
and
just
everything.
is. That is the best argument I've heard
Like-
all day, Connor.
What policy?
Like his immigration policy,
Like what immigration policy?
deportation.
Deportation. So
Yep.
I have a question. What deportation policy did he pass?
The mass deportation.
So
What mass deportation policy?
I'll just jump to the conclusion, Connor. There was no mass deportation policy. He just put specific picks on his cabinet to oversee the deportation, enacting upon the law in which already exists. Now, why do you think mass deportation is a good thing for America? Name one way that mass deportation benefits this country.
Because it gets illegal immigrants out of the country.
And why? And how does that benefit America?
Because they're criminals and they're in the country and they're in here illegally.
Okay. All right. So how does removing them materially benefit this country? Because whenever I evaluate the issue, I come to the very clear conclusion that it doesn't. Because undocumented migrants, as a demographic, help our country. They pay $100 billion per year in taxes, contribute $300 billion per year to the American GDP.
No, they don't.
So my sources are the IRS. My other source is a report coming from the House Republicans under Trump's term on January 22nd. And my third source is the Institute on Economics and Taxation Policy. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you have sources too that prove me wrong and you right. What are they?
I have them right here, Dean. Don't worry. I look at it. Would you like to see my source?
Take it away, Connor. Let us know.
Well, see all those sources. Those are just those were all the PNAS. That's all like skewed by Biden, just like the 2020 election.
Skewed
was.
by Biden. Okay,
So,
this guy's trolling.
Are you trolling?
This guy is trolling, totally. PNAS has no affiliation with Biden. You said the 2020 election was stolen. Answer the question. How is it the case that the Democrats were able to steal the election when they were not in office in 2020, but when they were in office in 2024, then they had an issue with stealing the election and they left?
Okay. Wow. Look at this. We're getting the best of the Trump supporters today. We are just truly getting the best of the best. I mean, I've just never seen more intelligent people in my life. There's a straight up Nazi in my queue.
Someone said, what does Parker's notebook say? It says, trust me, bro.
Joe, trust him, bro. You just got to trust him, everybody. You got to trust him. You got to be a trusting fella, a trusting guy. Hey, if you're watching and you'd like to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me. Only person who takes a percentage is Uncle Sam, Mr. Taxman, once a year. As well as you'll be able to attach a message that I will read out on stream. Once again, that's in the link tree in my bio. If you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to support me on Venmo or PayPal, you can find the link in the description, or you can find the written out at in the pinned message. What is up, G Money? Are you MAGA?
No, but I just want to say I'm a big supporter, and I was wondering your opinion on abortion. Like, I know that you think after 20 weeks.
Yeah, so my position on abortion is pretty simple. We are going to kick you because you're not MAGA, but basically just completely legal elective services until 20 through 24 weeks, with the exceptions having access whenever. And that's just lethal abortions. Oh, the pain. Welcome in. It's been many months since we've last spoken.
Many, many months.
Are you still
a Trump supporter?
Still a Trump supporter?
What kind of question is that? Of course I am.
Okay. Why?
Well, lots of people have changed. Not you, apparently. What makes you not change?
Well, I'm not a giant tool, so why would I change?
Okay, actually, one moment, real quick. You have us connected to like a Bluetooth speaker or something? I could hear like a little bit of an echo in the background, and it's annoying. Can you disconnect us from like
Hold on,
any
I'll take
speaker
you
apart
off.
from your phones?
Yeah, and then I have a.
I
would
want to say one thing.
ahead.
I just want
Go
to say
ahead.
one thing to him. So you think that we're tools?
Yes, giant tools.
Okay, why is that?
Because for someone who makes upward of maybe $500,000 a year, maybe more,
I wish.
and when someone donates to you, you tell them it's going to help pay for my grandparents' anniversary dinner or your gas money. I think that's pretty pathetic. You're a giant tool.
So does that not apply to me? Because I never say that.
Well, I want to respond to what he just said. So I've never asked people for donations to pay for my grandparents' anniversary dinner. I remember their anniversary dinner. I was sitting on live talking about it, and then people started donating to pay for it. I didn't say I'm going to be collecting donations for this. I didn't incentivize individuals
It's
to
quite
donate
the-
for it.
Be a man.
Individuals heard me speaking about it, and they were like, hey, here's money to pay for it. And I did. It was a good anniversary gift. And then about gas money, same thing. I was talking about how I'm taking a day off to go drive into the mountains. And then a couple of very kind-hearted supporters donated me money and were like, here's money for gas. Very kind of them. Very kind. I didn't incentivize it. I didn't collect specifically for it. I was like, hey guys, I'm accepting donations for gas money. But like when individuals donate to me, not only does it pay for gas money or dinners, it pays for, this is my full-time job. And I don't understand why you'd take an issue with that. Seemingly you're just a very jealous man, but take it away. Tell me why I'm wrong and you're right. I'll hear you out.
I ordered 200 hand forks.
Well, first off, it's disingenuous to your to your viewers. It's just, I don't know, from where I'm from, the way I view things, it's just, it comes off as very phony and just pretentious. And I think that
What comes off as phony?
the fact that you're like giggling about someone, like I said, you're making upward of $500,000 a
I'm
year,
not.
which is great.
I wish I was,
Okay.
but I'm not.
I'm so he's happy that someone sent him money and that's wrong.
Yeah, like
He's a
what?
phony.
Dude,
Yo, speaking of Jeffrey,
dude,
thank you for the
you should be
$20
fucking
over on
pissed.
PayPal.
Stop
Thank you,
it right
Jeffrey,
there,
for the
Dean.
$20 PayPal.
Stop it right there.
Oh, should I
Dean.
be
You better
pissed?
be pissed off.
Wait.
You better be pissed off when it happens to you.
Yeah, this is a good question. Oh, the pain. Should I be pissed at Jeffrey?
What's that?
So Jeffrey just
Don't you
donated
dare
$20 on
send
PayPal.
me any of your
What
money.
should my I genuinely want you to answer this question right now. What should my reaction to Jeffrey be?
I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything.
That's rude.
Don't
though.
thank them.
That's really rude. Like Hannah also just donated $15. I shouldn't thank Hannah for giving me 15 of her hard-earned dollars. If you want to know something that's pretentious, that's fucking pretentious. It is so pretentious to have individuals donate their hard-earned money to you because they like you and support what you do, and then sit back in the ivory tower and say, that's not enough for me to even mention it on the stream. I'm not even gonna say thank you because I'm so, that's fucking pretentious. Also, like Paul with the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat for gas money. Yo, thank you, Paul. Shout out, Paul. See, that is the non-pretentious way to thank individuals for donating their hard-earned money to you. Same thing with like Martin for the $22.22 over on Venmo for the next grandparents' anniversary dinner, and Mike with the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat for even more gas money, and Parker on for $15 on Venmo just to piss you off. Thank you all.
You're
That is
welcome.
incredibly
You're
kind of you all. And then Karen with a $20 over on Venmo just for the debate skills. Thank you, Karen. I will not be pretentious. I'm going to thank you. Same thing with you, Salem, for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat to buy my grandparents something nice. Thank you, guys. W's in the chat. Are you telling me that I'd be less pretentious if I just ignored all that?
No, what I'm telling you is listen, my viewpoint doesn't matter, obviously, clearly. But from someone that worked 2 jobs, went to college, now I make X amount of dollars. To see this, it's just, and what you're advocating for, right? The way you speak to people, it's just, it comes off as disingenuous. And there's a lot of other creators who talk about the same stuff that you do, and then that don't take donations, and they do it because they truly believe in what they're doing.
Wait,
not
who?
for fun. Go listen to T and Ava and all of those people who do this with just.
So your issue is that we do this for a job.
If
Yeah,
I didn't,
that's 100% my issue.
If I didn't,
because it's a clear and obvious grift.
if I didn't accept donations,
Can't do it as a genuine.
It's a grift.
Let me know when I could speak.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
If I didn't accept donations, I would not be going live for 4 hours every single day and doing what I love.
We'd all be better off, my friend. We'd all be better off.
No, you only
we
think you'd be better off because you disagree with what I say because you're an illogical old man. I think you think that this is a grift with no evidence whatsoever. You're just saying because people support what I do, it's therefore a grift. Worst argument I've ever heard. You don't even know what a grift is, okay? Is just a way to say that you're jealous, that I'm doing what I love, advocating for what is right, which is against what you believe in, and that pisses you off and makes you sad. And also, makes you mad. I want to clarify. You're particularly calling me disingenuous for being happy when people give me their money. There has to be 99 billion better arguments to argue for the idea that Dean and Parker are grifters than Dean and Parker get happy when people give them their money. That has to be the worst argument I've ever heard for the idea that we're fucking grifters. Speaking of, Will, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Will. Jen, thank you for the Australian $20 as well. E Snipes, thank you. 1 second, I gotta thank them all because I'm just so happy. Thank you, E Snipes, for the $10. One moment, oh the pain. Jennifer with the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Jennifer. Dan with a $5 saying, fuck you, Dean. Don't say thank you. Thank you, Dan. Oh, I'm a grifter. Tyler with a $5. And then Sydney with the $50 over on Venmo. Just to piss him off. Thank you for the love, Sydney. That is seriously insane. Thank you so much, Sydney. Let's give 500 W Sydneys. As well as Karen, thank you so much for the $20. Naima, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you guys so much for the love. Holy fucking shit. You guys are popping off like everywhere.
Hey, Parker,
oh my
thank
God.
you for the $15 for donating to piss off the guests. Thank you so much, Parker. Give some W's for Parker in the comment section. Policy, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. They said, I hear gas in Cali is more expensive.
And
thank you so much, Policy. And then Leah, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. And Mike with the $10. Thank you so much.
And then Jennifer with a 20 over on YouTube, over on PayPal. Yashika with a 20. Martin with a 20. And fucking Michelle with a 50. Oh my God, you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love. And then also Maggie with a 20 and Kay with a $5 Canadian over on YouTube Super Chat. Guys, thank you so much for the love. And you know what? Oh, the pain. I'm going to do something to prove that I'm not a grifter. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Show me, please.
Sure. The reason why a lot of people are donating to me right now is because you're crashing out and saying that I'm a grifter because people donate to me, and they're donating more to me to upset you even more than you already are. Less people will donate to me, and this trend will naturally dissipate of the incessant interruptions of me thanking individuals if you simply stop talking about it. I'm proving that I'm a grifter by telling you what to do to get less people to donate to me right now. If you stop talking about it, less people will donate to me. And I wouldn't be telling you that if I was truly a grifter, now would I?
Dean, that's going to get clipped. You said that you were proving you were a grifter.
Oh, uh-oh.
You knew. I knew coming up here saying that. Some gifts. I knew it. That's why I did it. That's why I did it.
No, it's not. You're doing.
No, but for real, I don't think two Midwestern goofuses should be lecturing anyone on anything. If you guys came to Brooklyn, you would get slapped up left and right for being two giant doofuses who haven't been around minorities and that's just the truth of it. So,
the pain. I'm just letting you know you are cutting out. So, were you just like threatening to like hit us?
Slapped up, I guess.
Question.
Yeah, you wanna slap me so hard. To be an emotional man. Let me tell you, to be an emotional man.
What did I do to justify you doing that? Like, I really would like to hear.
No, he's just an emotional dude. That's kind of what emotional.
I was
guys
on the
do.
internet and I said that Donald Trump did bad things.
Oh.
Therefore, I
Get slapped up.
That's the reason.
You better get assaulted.
He left.
He left, unfortunate. James, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying they attack your character because they cannot refute my argument. Jealousy and an inferiority complex are the fuel of their passion and the core of their blind devotion to an actual grifter. Donald J. Trump keeps spreading the truth. James.
I was going to ask him that.
That was perfectly worded, James. I honestly have tried to say it like that in the past, and I haven't found the words, and you said it perfectly. Also, is Cookie King in here? No, it's not. It's a fake cookie. Get out of here. Bro, that was perfully worded. Thank you so much.
Yo, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate it. Thank you. I was about to say, I was like, are we going to be able to mod Cookie King on live?
Yeah, Prime Cookie's over. Prime Cookie's over. As well as Leaf, L-E-I-F. Thank you for the $25 over at PayPal. Shout out Leaf. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's going on, Vassals? Do you support Trump?
No, but I'm going to donate 50 for you putting me on, and just want to tell you that literally it's so interesting to hear you consistently debate for 4 hours. I understand why you do it. You're doing the Lord's work or whatever you believe in. Like, I don't know, but I appreciate you, Dean. You are so young compared to me. I'm 36. I ran for office twice because of Bernie and tried to do everything that I could to make change. I couldn't do it, but I'm watching you do it, and you're doing it in a way that's so powerful. So God bless you. Going to send you 50.
Don't send me anything. I appreciate you so much for coming up here and being kind. Don't send me
All
any
right,
money.
deal. I'm gonna send you 10 instead. I'm gonna send you 10 instead.
Don't donate it to a local charity. I appreciate you so much for popping up, and I hope that you have a good rest of
You're
your
such
day.
a grifter, Dean. All right, whatever, bro. Whatever.
Have a good one,
Thanks.
Vassals. You shout out to Vassals. That's incredibly kind.
You're such a grifter. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm such a grifter.
Unbelievable.
Dude, shout out to Vassals. That was incredibly kind of you, man. Thanks for popping up. As well as Nicholas. Thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. What's up, Andrew? Do you support Trump?
Oh shit! Hey, it's me. Hey, no, but I did want to.
Sorry, Andrew. What's up, Reese? Do you support Trump?
Hello? Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007,
What month?
So did you vote for Donald Trump?
April 19th.
April.
And did you vote for Donald Trump?
Not if they were born in
No,
07
I
or
wasn't
April.
able to vote yet.
But you support him, correct?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you just turned 18. So tell us why you
Well-
support Trump, Reese.
So I just wanted to come on and say that I support Trump because Screedy and Colin Myers, I forgot about them, and Cookie King mogs both of you like to oblivion.
Reese,
Just
Cookie
like by the way.
King does not know.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna need a
Cookie King
justification
mogs
for that right now. Can we hear the justification for that? What's the argument?
Hey, Reese.
Cookie King has better appeal than both of you.
How so?
What do you mean? How so?
Like how so? Like what attribute?
Literally every single thing.
Go ahead, name one.
His eyes, his
What
face.
about his eyes? What about his face?
Bro, he literally has Canthal Till, bro. Like he's better than both of you.
I like how you're not naming a specific
Well,
attribute.
actually, to be fair,
just
Canthal
like his
Tilt is a
eyes,
specific attribute.
Yeah. Yeah, Parker.
Okay,
come
actually, I
on,
didn't even know what
thought
that
you
is.
What's going on here?
Pop out. Pop out, bro. Pop out. We're going to go to move on to the next guest, guys. Just give us a minute. We're going to go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. If you're MAGA, let us know down below in that comment section. We'll get you up here for a debate.
Hello?
What's up, Jimbo? How old are you?
Dude, Dina, I support Trump because he's.
That is a child right there. That is a kid. Quite frankly, no children. Where are the Trump supporters at? Hello. Do you support Trump?
Me?
Yeah.
So, I just first wanted to say I want to practice my debating skills, so that's why I joined this live.
How old are you?
I do not support Trump in any way.
I'm sorry, we don't do devil's advocate positions. Hey, but if you want to practice your debating skills, join the Discord. Assuming that you're at least 18, because you got to be at least 18.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Willow.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Moving on to the next guest, Adrian. We got the Democratic
That
daycare
was
over
really
here.
funny. That was actually really funny.
We got the oh shit.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Oh, my
man.
gosh.
Dude, I gotta say,
Good.
I gotta say, like these live streams are like probably like the most. What the fuck? What did my laptop just start playing music? Hey, it's a good song though. It's Flip Turn. I'm gonna turn it off though. Anyways, these live streams are probably some of the most interactive live streams on the internet. Okay, you will not see anybody else that like dedicates their live streams just to talking to people, and I think that creates really interesting dynamics. Even though it's not allowed, so don't do it yourself. Of like like supporters kind of coming up here every so often. It's interesting. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2005.
Perfect. Cassandra, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Very kind of you. So why do you support Trump?
So my first point is that Cookie King mogs the fuck out of you.
God damn.
You've
been spamming.
You have negative Canthal Tilt. You're 5'1".
I'm not.
King
I'm not
is
5'1".
8 PSL.
He's not 8 PSL. 6.1 on a good day.
He is 8 PSL. He's 6'1". You're 5'1".
How long have you been spamming MAGA in the chat?
Like 2 hours.
I know you have been spamming MAGA in the chat. This guy's been in this stream since I started it, spamming MAGA in the chat. Get the fuck out. Oh my God.
That is diabolical. Roxy, thank you for the £5. Thank you. That dedication is unbelievable.
Yeah, the dedication there was pretty nuts. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. 2 hours just for that. Just for that. Okay. I shouldn't have said that I'm on Cookie King. I take it back, guys. I give up. You guys win. Okay. All right, leave me alone. Are you Cookie King fiends? What is going on, YK? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I am 18.
Cool. Before you tell us why you support Trump, I gotta thank Sid for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat. Sid says, the amount of anti-teen pro Cookie King edits I've seen today is diabolical.
Really?
Yeah. I pissed like a very galvanized fan base off. And it was just for fun. It was just for shits and giggles. I was just fucking around, and here we are. I guess I can't turn back. Thank you for the $100, Sid. Very kind of you. But take it away, Williams. Tell us why.
Eldin, I guess.
Tell us why you support Trump.
I support Trump because his policies are great. His border patrol is amazing.
Can you
And
tell me
his
what policy of his you like?
the deportation one.
Which deportation policy?
Damn, this is like deafening silence. Like this is like I feel like there's like
Where am I?
negative decibels coming out of your mic. Like, have you ever worn like sound canceling earbuds?
Okay, man.
You know how like the Apple earbuds will kind of like cancel out sound, and it's like quieter when you put them on compared to when you. Like, I almost feel like it's almost like quieter when you're just like compared to like if I were to just be hanging out in my room.
So do you just not know what deportation policy?
No, I am MAGA, but I'm not trying to debate right now. But
You're not trying to debate right now, so why'd you join the live, bro?
Dude, honestly, like these lives are slowly starting to turn into like hangout sessions just because there's like no
real.
fucking Trump supporters that are willing to debate. Like I know that it's annoying. It annoys the fuck out of me when I can't find a Trump supporter to debate for an hour. But in all reality, it's a good thing. Okay? We are winning. Like, and I mean that seriously. Trump is losing, we are winning. There is not that much steam behind his regime, and it is decreasing every single day, dude. And like the fact that like these lives are centered around an invitation for any and all Trump supporters to come up here and debate.
Leave my sister alone. Leave my sister alone.
Leave your sister alone? What?
Stop sending her nudes, please. Leave my sister alone.
I'm not sending your sister nudes. I swear.
Free my sister. Free my sister.
I would heavily implore you to like look into like alternative solutions of who may be sending your sister nudes, because it's certainly not me, man. I'll tell you that much. What's up, Paula? How old are you?
What the hell just happened, dude?
I have no clue. I mean, I hope he finds who's sending his sister nudes. I do. It's like, you know, I'd explore other options. You got the wrong guy, pal. Hello, Paula. Do you support Trump? And Paula left. We're going to move on to the next guest.
Let me say thank you to two people. Ermina, thank you so much for the $6. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Jessica, thank you for the $3.47. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, Fireball.
And Jules, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Are you a Trump supporter, Fireball?
Don't worry. They can't. They're on the app. You have to be inside the app for us to be able to. Oh, they left.
Bruh.
If you're on YouTube, do make sure to like this stream. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Holy shit, there's 3.6 million likes.
That's a lot of likes.
That is a lot of likes.
Man.
What something's happening with the algorithm? It's probably because you have the ability to go on your main and do this.
Do you know that the DNC Dean account got permanently banned last night?
Are you serious?
Yeah, perfect timing. Like, if it was going to happen, that was a perfect time for it to happen. But really unfortunate.
Dude, I was going to ask Loki if I could use it, bro.
Yeah, I would let you, but it's toasted. It's permed. If I get it back, I'll happily let you use it.
Yeah, I have to use my girlfriend's account in order to do TikTok Live Studio.
Damn, bro. Yeah, I would happily let you use that. What's up, Nikki? Do you support Trump?
No.
You requested for why? Oh no. Oh no. What are we doing, chat? What are we
We're having
doing?
fun, you know what I mean?
Are
We're
we?
having fun.
Are we? Is this fun?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Got SpongeBob SquarePants down here.
If you were a SpongeBob SquarePants character, which one would you be?
Patrick. Be Patrick.
Oh my gosh, I love y'all so much. Wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you before.
You're good, don't worry. So you think you'd be Patrick?
I'd be Patrick. SpongeBob.
Who do you think I would be?
Definitely SpongeBob. 110%. Are you kidding?
Okay, I'm ready, chat.
Yeah.
And someone said you were Mr. Krabs.
Someone said you were Mr. Krabs.
Oh, this.
Someone said you were Mr. Krabs.
Here's an echo. Yeah, according to that last guest, that was calling me a grifter. Definitely, yeah, Mr. Krabs. Oh man, trying to find a single Trump supporter. What a journey we are on right now, just to find one person. Jackson, were you born in 2009?
Someone said I'm Gary vibes.
No, bro, I'm not.
What year were you born in?
05.
What's your age?
17.
Mermaid man.
Alright.
Okay. Is
Loki Dina Squidward?
Is this just like? Is there like any Trump supporters in here? Like, can we try to figure that one out? Is there any at all? Hey, how old are you?
19.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Is there any Trump supporters in here? Go ahead. Okay, all the liberals, just for a second. Stop commenting. And if you are American, at least 18, and support Trump and ready and willing to debate, say, I support Trump in the chat. So liberals, stop commenting. Trump supporters, if you're American and at least 18, say, I support Trump in the chat, okay? All right. Maybe this is the new meta. Maybe this
Roxy,
is...
Go ahead. Roxy, thank you for the £5. Johnny, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And listen to the debate about conjoined.
Hello.
That's so funny, Johnny. Thank you so much. I really
Hello.
appreciate it.
Hey, how do you?
As well as Sid with the $100. Thank
What?
you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19?
I got you, Sid.
Yeah, for sure. What time is it?
What's good?
What's that? Yeah, what time is it, Ollie?
6.
6, phenomenal. And you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, chat, you could go back to all the liberals. You could get back to hanging out. Go ahead. All right, Ollie, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I just think his political reasons are
Ooh,
right.
I hear British accent. What state are you in?
What's that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota.
What's the
What time is it?
What's the...
6.
It's not 6.
Hello, C. So you were saying that you support Trump in the chat. How old are you?
Cookie King mugs you because he's not bald.
I'm not bald
That's
either.
so brutal. That's so brutal.
Okay.
Sid, thank you for the $100.
Okay, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super close to a crash out. I tell
Crash
all
out.
the liberals to stop commenting, and I say specifically, type I support Trump if you're at least 18 from America and ready and willing to come up here and debate. I'm doing everything in my power to find us a debate. There's no one here. There is nobody here that supports Trump. This is a room of 8.3 thousand liberals. So W you guys. But this is a room
we're winning, chat. We're winning.
of
Amina, thank you for the $2. Thank
8.3
you.
thousand liberals. That was another one of the people that was saying that they support Trump in the chat.
Omar, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Omar. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Give me some W's for Omar in the comment section right now.
Dude.
Thank you so much.
Dude, okay.
I really appreciate it.
I'm gonna put you to work, Parker. You gotta help me get a guest.
Oh no, I'm getting put to work, chat. Let me say thank you to one more person and then I have to go to work. Laura, thank you for the $25. Thank you so much on PayPal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe
All right.
one day we'll do that.
I'm putting you to work. Help me get a guest up
All
here.
right. I need one more person. Mohammed, thank you for the $10.83. Thank you so much on PayPal. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank
over.
you so
I'm
much,
over
Mohammed.
here losing my mind trying
All
to get
right,
debate going.
I got you. I'm
dude's
back on.
sitting back. Dude's sitting back, coasting, just hanging
I'm
out.
posting, chat. What? That's what we're doing, chat.
Help me out here.
Look at
Parker.
this. Look, we got a guest.
Yo, hello.
What's
Yo,
going
what's
on?
up, how old are
Howdy?
you?
Whoa, jinx.
Yo, I don't want to make you guys mad, but like, I just want to say thank you. You guys are helping America so much right now.
Hey, we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming up on the live.
I really.
We are just looking for
appreciate
people who did vote for Donald Trump right now. Only send a guest request if you did vote for Donald Trump.
It's
Again, we are
Parker's
just looking
turn.
for some debates.
I'm gonna sit back. You know, Parker, your shift has started, buddy. Clock in. In the meantime,
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, I just want to say I love you, man. I love you. I love you.
Hey, I appreciate you.
I
Thank
love
you so much. Thank you. Yep. Well, give us some music. Like, that's what we want to hear. Let's see how long it takes, chat. Louder, Dean. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
they're not even loaded in yet.
Hello? Colleen? All right. Let's go, everyone. We're going to get a guest. I can tell you that. I promise you. Here very soon, tremendously in quick times, I tell you. Give it 1 second, I promise. Okay. Do you support Donald Trump?
Fuck no, Parker.
Oh, wait, I know you are. You do not support Donald Trump. All right, let's go to the next person. Yo, what's up, Christopher? How old are you?
I am 29. How are you guys?
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
All right, why so?
Mainly 2 reasons. Just a strong border, and I am pro-life.
Okay. Strong border. Okay, so can you give me one policy Donald Trump influenced to get passed that was good for the border?
Honestly, I don't know much about policies, man. I just know that he ran on a strong border, and I know that he ran on pro-life. So that's mainly why I hopped on here and just wanted to share. That's why I voted.
Okay. I have a question. Do you think that COVID vaccine should have been mandated?
No, I think it should be everybody. You could get me right here. I do think it should be everybody's choice to do that.
Even though it leads to a greater level of deaths?
You mean like not getting the COVID vaccine?
Yeah, not having the COVID vaccine be mandated during the pandemic.
Well, I mean, wasn't the pandemic or the people who like you were okay basically, like if you didn't get the shot or not, because the COVID vaccine.
I'm just saying if you got the vaccine, it reduces the likelihood as a society, if more people get vaccinated, that there'll be less deaths. So that's the point. So here, the point that I'm making is that you're willing to restrict bodily autonomy to save human life when it comes to abortion, but you're not willing to restrict bodily autonomy to save human life when it comes to the COVID vaccine during the pandemic.
I mean, you kind of. I mean, here's my thing. I'm gonna give you a twofold, and you're probably not gonna like my answer. I'm a believer in Jesus, right? I'm a Christian, and I recently saw your video on Jubilee where it originally was Christians talk or 28 theists to Jordan Peterson or 28 theists to Christians. But here's my belief. I think that the human life is valued at the beginning of conception. But I also understand that as an American, every single person has that right.
Yeah, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you think it should be legal?
See, that's my dilemma. That literally is my dilemma, because as a believer, as someone who believes in protecting all human life, I also know that I can't force that belief onto everybody. But at the same time, if I am pro-life and someone is going to be pro-life, I'm going to vote for the person to be pro-life at the end of the day.
That's going to be so you do want to enforce that particular moral belief onto everyone else.
When it comes to pro-life, yes.
Okay. All right. So then do you think that women should go to prison for getting abortions?
I've never thought about that. Why would you ask me a question?
If you think it's murder, well then why don't you think that murderers should go to prison?
I mean, that's a great question. I don't think that they should go to prison because I think some women are manipulated into doing it. I think some women are forced into doing it. I've heard of many cases where women are forced to get abortions, and that's wrong altogether.
Forcing someone against their will to get an abortion is wrong because it should be their choice.
Yeah, and again, that's what I'm saying. As a believer, I value all human life.
Can I ask you a question?
Human life, but at the same time, I think that people do have a choice at the end of the day. Yeah, sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. What denomination are you?
I was raised Baptist.
So non-denominational?
Well, I would still say I lean towards Baptist, but I go to a Baptist church, but I also dabble in some Pentecostal teachings and
okay.
For the most part, Protestant. Just say Protestant.
Okay, Protestant. So, I mean, do you agree with like the teachings of the New Testament of the Bible? where basically all sins fall short of the glory of God. All sins are identical in the eyes of God.
Yeah,
Outside of
that's
blasphemy.
Romans.
That is Romans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, should it be illegal for me to lie to my child and tell them that Santa Claus exists?
I don't think it's illegal. I don't know what you're getting at there.
So, do you think it should be?
Do I think it's wrong to let a child fantasize about?
I'm not asking
an
you if
old
it's
man
wrong
bringing
to lie. I'm
presents?
asking you if it should be illegal for me to lie to my children and tell them that Santa Claus exists.
No, I don't think that should be illegal for you to tell a lie.
So then why should it be illegal for a woman to get an abortion if both of those two sins are viewed identically in the eyes of your moral standard, which is God?
Well, in that, I guess, example you're giving, one is, you're telling a kid that Santa Claus is real, and one is you're unaliving a kid.
Yeah. However, in the eyes of your moral standard, you just admitted that these two things are seen identically. You agreed.
Yet all sin is sin. I'm not saying that okay. So someone in the Protestant church would tell you that.
I
and maybe you in the
just
Catholic
want
church.
to clarify. I'm talking to you, and you did affirm that you indeed do agree
Uh-huh.
with Romans when it says that all sins are identical in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy. So this means
No,
that the sin
that's
of
not
abortion.
Romans. The quote in Romans I think you're referring to is that all have fallen short of the glory of God.
So
And
you
so
did affirm that you do think that all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy. Do you now reject that?
what I'm saying is,
I'm just
yes,
asking you if you affirm or reject that.
Yeah, all sins in the eyes of God is sin, but there are different levels of consequences here and afterwards.
Okay, so I just need you to affirm or reject if all sins are identical in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy.
I mean, then yes. I mean, all sin is sin.
Oh, okay, so you do affirm that. So the sin of abortion is identical to the sin of lying in the eyes of God, which is your perfect divine moral standard. So if these two sins are identical, how would we be able to make a distinguishment insofar as deeming one ought be legal and deeming the other ought be illegal? If we're going to be operating the legislation off of your moral standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you would go. I mean, have you ever read the Mosaic Law? Do you know about all 613 laws that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Mosaic Law, but obviously you don't really take much away from Mosaic Law. Like, for instance, Mosaic Law says that an Israelite can enslave a non-Israelite as human property for life.
Well, this is the point I'm getting at. Is all 613? Some are more drastic, some are less drastic. But if you broke one, you broke them all. So same thing in the eyes of sin. There's a white lie sin, and then there's a murder sin. All sin
But
is
those
sin
sins
to
are
God.
equal in the eyes of God. What is your moral standard? What is your
What I'm
standard
saying
for
is all
determining the
sins-
morality of an action?
All sin separates you from God.
What is your
All
standard
sin-
for determining the morality of an action?
Break that down for me.
What is your moral standard?
My moral standard is God.
God. God sees the sin of abortion identical to the sin of lying. Correct?
All sin is sin. So yes.
Correct. So those two sins are identically wrong. Correct?
Yes. Is smoking weed illegal?
So then I want you to go. Oh, got a stray. That was a crazy stray he just caught.
Get a ban?
No, he said WEED.
Oh, that's rough.
Damn. Honestly, sometimes the strays just happen. If you're curious, you can't say the names of any like DRUGS on TikTok. They crack down heavily. I couldn't tell you why, they just do. And sometimes people just catch a stray like that guy out of the coin. Thank you for the lover's box. Wasn't his fault that he got kicked at all, because that is an insane fact of TikTok's TOS. What's up, Reed? Do you support Trump?
Nah, can you go on other people's live streams to debate them, maybe?
I actually do that every so often. It's pretty fun. Just make
You
sure
gotta record it.
Make sure that you follow me with my push notifications on. Because if you do, then you'll get a notification that I'm live, and that would include going live on like other people's streams to dunk on them. Yeah, I do kind of like bounce in between some of the Trump supporters' lives at some points, just to kind of like keep them down. You know what I mean? A little bit. I don't know. Beat them in a debate. Maybe they leave the app. I don't know. Right? What's up, Luke? Do you support Trump?
Yeah. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I wouldn't. No, I didn't vote Trump, but I have family members that do support Trump,
support
and
him?
I've always no, but
Moving on to the next guest ever. Moving on to the next guest. Let's see, Andrew. Thank you so much for the $5 over at Venmo. Shout out Andrew, as well as Allison. Thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo as well. Shout out Andrew and Allison, as well as Muhammad with the $11 on PayPal, and Amora with the $25 on PayPal. Saying I mugged the fuck out of Cookie King. Yo, let's go, Amora. That's a fact if I've ever heard one. Thank you so much for the love. Who's the next Trump supporter? Man, I might even just end my live a little early today.
Really? How long have you been on?
3.5 hours. So I mean, it
Hey,
wouldn't be
big guy, how you doing?
What's up, overnights? Are you MAGA?
I can't vote in U.S., but I support a few of the things that he's for.
Are you a citizen?
No, permanent resident.
Permanent resident? That's fine. Okay. So you do support Trump?
Yes, sir. Not. I wouldn't say support, but I support some of the ideas. Yeah.
So you wouldn't say, like, do you think that Trump is a better president today than Kamala Harris would have been if she had one?
I don't know. I couldn't say that, but I would say I think.
I'm not gonna lie. Like agnosticism on that is crazy. So I think you're in the right place. Tell us what about Trump you support.
I think the border, it is a problem. I don't think he has done the best job of taking people out of the country. He promised a lot more, but also,
So, okay,
those
so
are
you
one of
agree
the
with mass
things-
deportation. So, yeah, can you name one way that undocumented immigrants in America hurt America?
I just think that mass deportation is required just because of. I don't have any statistics to quote. I'm not a statistic bro, but I am someone that goes to Costco on a Tuesday and is like full of Indian people that like bump into my shoulders, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with that.
Wow,
dude.
As long as
All right, yeah. So this is just.
So I can't wait. Hold on.
So
hold
this
on.
is
I
this
can't
is just
even
like
finish my
racism.
sentence. Give me 1 second. Let me finish.
Hey,
what I'm
I have a
saying.
question.
So
If like
just the
some,
societal
can I just
differences, so-
yeah, I'm just gonna ask you something real quick. If you heard an 80-year-old white guy say, "When I go to the grocery store, it's just filled with all them black people bumping into my shoulders," would that be racist?
Maybe depends on the context.
Maybe.
No. How about this?
So, for example, I'm saying
I think that
Indian
maybe
people-
one second, sir.
You know what? why
No,
I say the Indian
please
people
please
because
allow
that's
me. Please allow me to finish. I think
couldn't-
that maybe is a very unfair answer to my question. I think that the answer to my question is yes. Obviously, that's racist because guess what? White people going, "When I go out in public, it's filled with black people," caused what? Segregation. Right? So that is obviously racist. However,
Can
that
I
is
finish my
exactly
sentence,
what you're
please?
saying, just about Indian individuals, meaning
Yeah,
that is
but
also
it's-
racist.
Can I finish my sentence?
Yeah, for sure. But I guess after you finish your sentence, if you could respond to like a very easy analogy to demonstrate that what you're saying here is racist, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. So the thing that you're saying is that it's because of racism. Do you know if, I'm Indian? You don't know if I'm Indian. What if I'm Indian? Is that okay for me to say now?
No,
So
it's still not
the
okay for
truth-
you to say, but we'd probably just characterize it as something other than racism. Probably
Oh,
just
so the
very extreme
truth
prejudice. Or like,
depends on who says it?
I could debate with you about my conceptions of what racism is and the different ways in which we could use the term. But like, I think before we get onto that, I just want you to be able to recognize that it's obviously like very like wrong, right? To say like, oh, when I go to the grocery store, it's
I
just
agree
filled
that
with
that's
all
the
these
view.
Indian
Now-
people. I characterize it as racism.
So as someone that came from another country, I came to this country and I integrated. I understood that this culture is far superior than the culture that I came from.
Why do you think that?
Wait,
Because
can
it's more successful.
Can you
It's
tell
more
us? Can
successful
you
in
tell us?
every way.
Can you
In
tell
what
us?
way?
Can you
Economically?
just before you start? Can you tell us what American culture is?
Yeah.
Okay. What is American culture?
Being able to win without having to necessarily be the larger. Trying to remember that word in English. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's called.
See, I struggle to define American culture too. I'll give you my definition of American culture as soon as you.
Yeah,
give
but
yours.
I'm trying to finish. I like that you like interrupt.
My bad,
It's
bro.
really it's tough. I'm saying, give me 1 second because I'm trying to
Yeah, for sure,
think
man.
of. I'm translating the words here. Okay,
No
I'm
worries.
trying. So I'm not searching anything up, just to be fair. I'm trying to figure out the word. It's called corruption. There you go. Sorry about that.
Okay, so
So
American culture. What is it?
What did you say?
Tell us what American culture is.
So I said, you are able to be successful without directly playing into the overall corruption. So I personally come from Brazil.
I don't know what that means. Could you describe what? So you're saying
I'm
that
trying
American
to.
culture is the ability to be successful without engaging in corruption. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what that means or how that relates
Okay.
to culture.
So that's what
There are countries with more social mobility than the United States, particularly Scandinavian countries, which we would acknowledge have less corruption.
Okay, so what I was trying to continue to say before I was interrupted, I was trying to say that there is a larger percentage of people that can be successful here without having to bribe their way through everything. So I come from Brazil, and in Brazil, we literally, it's like a known thing. You have to bribe for you to become successful. But I come to this country and I understand the culture is completely different. You know, the family dynamics, everything is completely different. But rather than to fight the culture and understand that, oh, my culture is better because I come from this place, I think it is necessary to implement a little bit of my culture into this one. And
Okay. So
very little.
I'm going to jump in here. Just because you're kind of rambling. So you're telling
I'm not
us-
rambling. Let me finish up. I'll wrap up in a second. Let me just finish up real quick.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just remember that the original question is, what is American culture?
Yeah, so I'm getting back to that. I'm circling back to that. Give me 1 second. So rather than to change this culture, I would rather get this culture and implement it into my life rather than get my Brazilian culture implemented into the American culture. So I
Okay.
think it's pretty clear what American culture is.
Chat, are you guys clear on what American culture is after listening to him speak for 3 minutes? I think the one takeaway that I got from that is you saying that like some level of like social mobility, the ability to like scale in the American economy is going to be culture. I don't think that like economic mobility is like really considered culture anywhere. I guess when I think of
Okay,
culture,
okay,
whoa!
I'll
You
give
got
you-
so
you're
mad
right,
at
you're
me
right,
for
you're right. I
interrupting you.
didn't
Don't
define
interrupt me.
it
No. Don't interrupt me after you're gonna get so mad for me, like just talking when you've paused.
I'm not mad,
so
man.
Just,
I'm
just allow me
smiling
to
talking
finish
you.
speaking. That'd be great without an interruption.
Sounds good.
So I don't really think that economic mobility is like defined as culture anywhere. But I mean, even if you're defining economic mobility as culture in America, I mean, this just means that America doesn't have the best culture on earth since there's other countries with more economic mobility. But like seemingly, like you're now agreeing that like economic mobility is not culture. So like, once again, answer the question: what is American culture?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I do want to read into that question, but
can I answer it?
Yeah, go for it.
melting-
You and Parker. Is Parker on? I'm new to this whole debate thing, so I'm trying to understand how it works.
Yeah,
fully.
Parker's here. So I think that American culture is just a melting pot of cultures from all over the globe. Because something special about America is you can move to America and you become an American, right? And America was built on immigration and individuals in America from all over the globe. So when you sit here and you tell me that there's individuals in America that are destroying American culture, they can't coalesce and affirm American culture. Well, American culture is a diversity of cultures from all over the globe. So, I mean, I don't think that there is such a thing as like coalescing and affirming and residing within American culture, as American culture is built off of different cultures. So, like, no matter where you are, you move into America, you're automatically engaging in American culture.
Okay.
And I think that's probably like the best way anybody could define what American culture is. And like this is why I always ask that question of what is American culture. And like I've asked it to you, you immediately eventually said that you don't know. I've asked the same question to other people. It's because it's like very vague. It's hard to define, and my best guess would be melting pot of global culture. So when you tell me that you support mass deportation because you're bumping into Indians at the grocery store, so like first
It's
of
just
all,
an example.
No,
I think giving examples.
allow me to finish speaking. So first of all, you could be Indian and you could be an American. Kamala Harris, right? And then second of all, not all undocumented immigrants are Indian. And then third of all, just saying that you want to get Indian people out because they're Indian is racist.
That's tough. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you definitely made that implication because you said that you
No,
support.
I was trying to finish, but
Sorry, with all due respect, I'm definitely going to be confident in
you
the
asked me
fact
a
that you
question.
made that implication because I asked you why you support the removal of people from America, and the first thing that you said was that you don't like bumping into Indian people at the grocery store.
So I didn't say that. You asked me.
You absolutely did say that. You're just totally lying.
Okay, well, I said there's a huge culture difference between where they come from and here.
Oh, so now you do acknowledge that you said it.
Is that what I did, or are you putting words in my
Is
mouth?
that what I did? Are you serious, dude? The entire chat's saying you did it. Both Dean and I are saying you did it. We can play back the timestamp of you saying it. Stop acting like you didn't.
Okay, so word for word, what did I say, please?
Do you want us to play back the timestamp?
Just say it back to me.
What the
And
fuck
let
do
me
you
correct it
know
if I said it
about?
wrong.
What the hell do you know about Indian culture?
I know they don't say excuse me. I know for sure they don't do that.
What the fuck?
because-
So I just want to clarify that you don't think that Indian people should have the right to be in America because they don't say excuse me? First of all, such like obviously a stereotype like that can just
So I'm
automatically
giving an
be
example of what people do.
obviously a stereotype like that could be rejected by anybody with more than 30 functioning brain cells. Like I don't need to explain that. But saying excuse me or not saying excuse me is not cultural.
Like, you know, the same type of bigotry that you're using to say that like people who are Indian shouldn't be allowed to the United States would also be said by people in the United States to restrict anyone else from any other country.
Also, this is just deliberate racism. Like, have you ever heard like a white person go, "Black people are the problem. They all just commit so much crime." Okay, well that's what you're saying. You're saying Indian people are the problem. They can't
No, I don't
assimilate
think it's
to
Indian
the
people specifically.
culture
I just used-
because they don't say excuse me. Yeah, it's the same strain of racism.
Let me know when you're done muting me.
I'm done muting you because I'm done
Okay.
speaking. You were interrupting me. And by the way, people are like saying like Lamau or how ha ha in the
You're
chat because of the example that I used about a racist white man. That wasn't supposed to be funny. Like that was supposed to be like a real life equivalent example of like the shit that he's saying. Okay. I just want to make that point clear. So respond to that point. What's the difference between you saying that there's a problem with the culture of Indian people and they can't assimilate because they don't say excuse me, and the racist white guy saying there's a problem with black people because they all commit so much crime?
I never brought up any black people at all into the conversation.
I know, I did. I did because I'm using this as an analogy to what you're saying. Can you tell me what the difference between these two statements are?
What I was trying to finish saying over and over. So, just Indian people is not, the only culture that does not assimilate properly into.
So
the
I just want to
American
clarify.
culture.
Can you tell me what the difference between those two statements are? Yes or no?
So you're just gonna keep bulldozering over.
I'm just
my
gonna
every
ask you
time?
to answer the question. Yeah, I will. So do you have an answer?
So let me finish what I was trying to say. Is this a
No,
way you
no, I'm
win?
not gonna let you
By
finish
muting
unless
and,
you're answering my
forcing
question.
me to go along your lines, or
Oh, I definitely do hold guests to a standard of engaging in intellectual critique of their own positions, especially when they're harmful and deliberately racist, such as yours. And I find this to be incredibly like typical to do in a debate, like to give pushback against what other people are saying. So please respond to my pushback, like particularly me asking you to give me the difference.
what was the question?
Yeah, for sure. What's the difference between a racist white guy saying that black people are the problem because they all commit so much crime and they just can't assimilate into the culture, and you saying that Indian people are the problem because they all just don't say excuse me in the grocery store and they can't assimilate into the culture? What's a relevant distinction between those two statements?
So the relevant distinction between those two statements is that intention. You characterize me as a racist because you assume my intention is, racism, or I feel like I am above them, or I feel like my race is better than their race. So that was racism, right? So you're trying to tell me I'm racist for saying they should assimilate the same way I have?
Hey, chat, has he answered my question?
I think maybe your mic, your your headphones not on properly because I answered the question.
Is
So I
like
said,
is the
"You're
speaker
telling
and the
me."
headphones of like 10,000 people not on properly? Because like seemingly
Okay,
like
so
everybody's on the same page here that you didn't answer my question.
so the difference is you assuming my character and just saying,
My
"Oh, it's
so
racist."
I want to clarify. Like my question actually had to do with the difference between two statements. Like nothing about like you, your character, your intentions, etc. I mean, we'll get there, right? But right now, I'm just asking you for the difference between two statements. Statement one being, statement one being, there's a problem with all black people because they all just commit so much crime they can't assimilate into the culture. And statement two being, there's a problem with Indian people because they all just bump into me at the grocery store they can't assimilate into the culture. What's the difference between those two statements?
I think there's a huge difference between black people and Indian people. Black people,
bro,
you muted yourself. Put on,
dude.
Go
So
for it.
you're gonna tell me the difference between black people and Indian people?
Yeah, black people.
I actually
Indian
didn't.
People are coming here.
I actually
So that's a huge difference.
didn't ask you for the difference.
If you inside your own house,
I didn't ask you for the difference between black people and Indian
So
people.
see-
And then also like you're even like the differences you pointed out between black people and Indian people are false, but that doesn't matter because I want you to answer the question. So please tell me what the difference between the two statements was, because my question wasn't.
it's fine to, but you keep muting me.
I'm muting you because you're over speaking me. So I'm not asking you what the difference between black people and Indian people is. I'm asking you what the difference between the statement black people suck and can't assimilate into the culture because they commit so much crime, and the statement that Indian people suck because they can't assimilate into the culture and bump into me at the grocery store. Like, what's the difference between those two statements? See how you can't point it out? Can you just concede that there isn't a difference between those two statements?
There's a clear difference. Black people, they are here and they have been here for hundreds of years. Indian people have not in mass. And now they get here and their culture is completely different.
I'm not asking you what the difference between black people and Indian people is. In fact, I
You
just made
see,
that clear. You have like the
muting-
IQ of a toddler. Yeah, I'm muting
Telling
you
you
because
the
you're.
difference.
I'm muting you because
I'm
you're
actively
being.
telling you the difference.
I'm muting you because you're answering a question that I didn't ask. Okay, can you repeat?
You don't
my
like the
question?
answer. That's the truth.
Repeat my question.
I'm not a
You don't
child.
even
I'm
know
talking
the
to you
question.
as a
Yes, you are a child. You are absolutely a child. I'm not gonna
What's
lie,
the
bro.
difference between... See, now when I try to talk, then you keep muting me.
Tell me, what's the question I asked you?
So, you said, let me say, make sure I say this correctly. What is the difference between a white guy saying, "Oh, there's something wrong with black people, they cannot assimilate, and that's just not right," and in me saying Indian people are coming here and not assimilating into the culture? What's the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, and also like stereotyping black individuals as just committing so much crime, and Indian individuals as just bumping.
I
into the
literally
grocery
didn't
store.
even mention black crime at all. You're the one that did that. So.
Dude, your IQ
But,
is
okay,
like 30
so-
fucking 5. If you cannot understand what an analogy
Dude,
is,
if
I
you
have
literally,
very
you're
low
so
hopes
slow.
for-
You literally cannot understand what I'm saying. For example, let's use another example.
I'm sorry. I just think it's ridiculous that you can't understand that it was messed up and fucked up for you to literally say that like you're for mass deportation because people who are Indian, right, hit your shoulders while at the grocery store, right? Like I'm confused. That's what we were saying is like you were trying to make a generalized statement specifically about people who are Indian, right? As a reason as to why you are against immigration.
And then also, like, you're telling me that the difference is that black individuals are already here in America and Indian individuals are coming to America. So basically, what you're saying is that you think Indian individuals are immigrating, black individuals are like not immigrating, they're already here. But you didn't say that a difference is that the first statement is racist and the second statement is not racist. So basically, what you're saying
So
is
so I wanted to ask you something.
So basically, what the implication there is that both of those statements are racist, but you only think it's okay to be racist to immigrants?
Is that what I said, or
Yeah, because I asked you for the difference between the
thing is-
statements, and one of the differences that you didn't point out is that, well, one's racist and one's not racist. Okay, so you'd be saying that they're both racist, right?
Be clear, he's muting me this whole time. Just to be clear.
Because you're interrupting me, just to be clear. So do you agree that both of the statements are racist?
No, I
Okay,
actually
what do you think racism is? Can you define racism?
Yeah, finding yourself to be superior to another race, to someone else based on race.
So no,
Is that
that's not the essential definition of racism. So the essential definition, I guess, working definition of
Go for it.
racism that we could
Go
use,
for it.
the working definition of racism that we could use for this conversation, because in all reality, it's a very complex subject. But let's kind of just boil it down to like one or two sentences here. Is like targeted discrimination against an individual or group of individuals predicated on the basis of their race, right? So that's racism. And this is why it's like racist to say that there's a problem with black people because they can't assimilate to the culture, because they're committing all this crime. First of all, this is racist because the targeted discrimination would be specifically to what? Black individuals. B, the discrimination would include stereotypes such as being more prone to commit crimes. And C, also like peddling the stereotype that there's a problem with the culture in which would exist inside of Black Americans, and that culture is different than what would exist inside of non-Black Americans, and that there's like a problem with assimilation, right? So there's like kind of like a bare bones, really quick description why that statement is racist. But everything that could be said insofar as why that statement is racist can also be said about your own statement, right? So you're like targeting discrimination towards Indian individuals specifically by A, assuming that if you go to a grocery store, that Indian individuals would bump into your shoulder and then not say, excuse me. B, you're also making the implication that this is something that other individuals would not do. C, you are then generalizing this targeted discrimination to apply to every single Indian individual. And then D, the cherry on top is that the purpose of this targeted discrimination is to invoke some level of material harm upon Indian individuals, such as like a call for mass deportation, which was obviously implied as this was your justification for mass deportation. So I just gave you 5 points there, A, B, C, and D, which I guess is 4, not 5. Insofar as why what you said was racist, do you want to try to contest my reasons, all 4 of them?
Okay, so I did not say that Indian people have to be deported because they don't have manners. That's not what I said. I said that the example that I gave is that if I go to Costco on a Tuesday and they don't say excuse me and bump into my shoulder, I think it's a good, clear sign that the cultures are clearly different.
Okay, so I've had white people.
Hold on. I let you talk for like
I won't,
5 minutes,
I won't, hold on.
bud.
Wait. I'm interrupting you right now. That's rude, right?
You see how I didn't interrupt you, but you can't hold your pants?
Oh, okay.
You just
Wait.
keep going
So
crazy.
so would you say that like me going crazy, being rude, and interrupting you is like a problem in the culture of white people?
No, I think it's you. You just have like low key.
Oh, so you apply it to the individual when it comes to white people, but when it comes to people who are Indian specifically, you apply it as a generalized statement
No, it's
to the
because
entire group of
Dean
people.
is one guy I'm talking to.
Okay.
Oh, and each of those people that did it to you
at
at the store are one person.
Unless you've just like bumped shoulders with like I
the
don't
thing
know,
is
like 1.5
it's
billion
interesting
Indian
because
individuals.
you can't like actually have a conversation that is honest with a person. You have to like call them racist if you disagree with them.
Wait, you specifically brought up as a reason as to why you think immigration is bad is because people who are Indian are not saying
there are
excuse
multiple
are not saying excuse you specifically to you. Well, good, because you're fucking racist, right? So you're literally doing fucked up shit. So why the hell should they show you any appreciation?
And then also, is it just like all of a sudden like wrong to like call out racism? Like you're saying like, oh, you just call everybody racist that you disagree with. Like, no, I can have disagreements with people that aren't rooted in racism. Okay. But the disagreement I have with you is rooted in racism. That's a fact. Are you saying that I shouldn't be able to point that out? Or maybe like your implication is that it's just simply impossible for somebody to have a disagreement with me that's rooted in racism? I don't know. But regardless, I just hate this narrative that, oh, the liberals are so soy, whiny, and wrong because like we actually care about targeted discrimination towards people on the basis of their race or nationality. And we want to point that out as something that's wrong and something that shouldn't be done. And that's what I'm doing to you. I'm just simply pointing out that it's wrong for you to target discrimination at Indian individuals, South Asian individuals, saying that they have a problem with their culture and their culture promotes a lack of, I don't know, civility, and it promotes rudeness and bumping into individuals at the grocery store. I just find that to be incredibly racist for kind of the reasons that I gave. Maybe you actually have had an individual at a grocery store bump into you that was Indian. Okay, well, why is your first thought, well, it must be because they're Indian that they did that? right? But when I interrupt you, you know, it's not your first thought as well. He's interrupting me because he's white. I guess that would be like an even
You see, he keeps
easier
interrupting and
way.
just yapping, but you don't let me talk.
So I'm not letting you talk because I'm already talking. You could talk when I'm done, but I'm just teaching, man, and you're calling it a yap, man. I'm sorry that sometimes we have to critically think and use nuance in these conversations. Would you prefer me to write it out on a piece of polka dot paper with crayons?
That was
Dean. You forgot the pictures.
the thing is, you like characterizing people that you disagree with as racist, and that's just like untrue. Like you don't wait to see when you actually don't try to have a good
We gave you specific. We gave you specific reasons.
No, Parker, he's cooking.
Slow down,
Guys,
buddy.
this guy's
Slow
giving,
down,
this guy's
guys.
cooking. He's actually giving the best argument ever. The best argument ever.
I've been
heard.
incredibly
False.
quiet this entire time.
His argument is wrong. Your argument is you're wrong, Dean.
Talk to me
You're
now, though,
untrue.
right?
What you're saying is false. So tell me why I'm false by disputing my reasonings. I think that it's racist because you're assuming if an Indian individual bumped into you at the grocery store that they did it because they're Indian, but you don't do the same thing as it relates to behavior from others, such as me interrupting you. You don't make the assumption that I'm interrupting you because I'm white. Explain to me how that's not racist.
You're just literally rude.
I mean, the same way you said that Indian individuals are rude because you've been bumped into in the grocery store by an Indian person. Why don't you say, therefore, all right, white people are rude and can assimilate with the culture?
I mean, majority of the time, white people have been here. This is their place. I mean, white and black people, they didn't come.
What do you mean this is their place? What are you talking about? Are you just not
Okay,
acknowledging
so-
history
okay,
of
so
literally
how
white people
was
genociding
America
indigenous
founded?
Americans
So tell me how America was founded. Could
and
you tell me?
stealing the land? The genocide of indigenous Americans and the stealing of the land
Okay, so by who?
by English settlers and
English
Western
settlers.
European
There we go.
settlers.
It took a while for you to get there, but you got there.
Brenda,
What do you
thank
mean?
you so much for
You
the
just
$25.
asked me the question.
Thank you for the $25 over on Venmo, Brenda. Shout out to Brenda down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love. That's incredibly kind, Brenda. Okay, so are you basically just saying that it's okay to target discrimination at Indian individuals because they're immigrants? Like, that has to be the deduction of your claim. Like, obviously, we're going to contest that this is like white people's. Listen to me. Don't interrupt me. Like, obviously, we're going to contest that this is like white people's land. Okay, that's obvious. Parker,
It's white and black people's land. I mean, they've
Can
been
you?
here for the
Okay, hey
longest.
man, do you have self-control?
Dude, you it's so like tough to listen to. You're just yapping on, and then
I want you to show me some self-control. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. So listen, sir, listen to what I'm saying. So listen to what I'm saying. Obviously, we're going to contest that this is white people's land. Obviously, we're going to contest that this is like any specific person's land, unless you were to make the implication that it's indigenous individuals' land. Okay, and we could have that conversation because I think that you're very wrong on that, and it's embarrassing. But I just want to point out that you're basically telling me that it is okay to target discrimination at Indian individuals because you don't think this is their land. Right? That's your argument. Do you understand how insane that is? Like, that is the argument that you're defending. Like, your response to me pointing out that you assume that an Indian individual bumping into you is because they're Indian, but not me being rude to you because I'm white, is because this is not Indian individuals' land. So targeted discrimination is totally okay to, like, people that you don't deem as having a just claim to land in this country. That's insane.
So I have a question. So if you go to India, are you a white guy?
Either respond to what I just said, or I'm going to pass the mic back to Parker to further dispute your claim that this is white individuals.
So I can't ask you a leading question so I can try to prove my point? Was it on the way you want it to be?
Sure, I'm white.
Okay, so if you're a white guy and you go to India and they have a culture that you're not 100% knowledgeable of, and you know what, let's not even say India, let's go Japan. You go to Japan and you are wearing cologne every single day, and you are not aware that to them that is a form of disrespect because very intense smells actually offend them. That is something that they have culturally deemed as disrespectful. But you are not aware of that. Now, is it disrespectful what you are doing, or is it on them to say, Oh, you know what? No, it's not
Yeah, man.
that.
So you're just not answering my question. Like you said that this was going to be a leading question that somehow contends in response to my argument. It's not.
So what is the answer? What is the answer?
Do you remember the question that I asked you?
You see how you, dude, you're so bad faith, dude.
I'm not bad faith.
so
You're bad faith. You're the one
I'm
avoiding my
asking you a
question.
question. So, but you're now
But
willing
you understand,
to
like,
actually.
yeah, but you understand in asking me your question, you were just intentionally pivoting and deflecting away from
It's
answering
not a
mine.
pivot. It's a clear leading question that would actually reference
It
you.
is. At this point, I'm ready to kick you from the
Different
live.
culture.
I mean, Parker, maybe if you have anything else you'd like to talk to him about, feel free. But like, I'm pretty ready to kick you from the live because
Parker,
I was
if
able
you're
to.
willing
I was
to answer
able.
that question,
I was able.
we
I was
can have-
able to deduce your argument down to essentially saying that the only reason why you assume an Indian individual bumping into you in the grocery store is because they're Indian, but you wouldn't say the same if I were to cut you off in a conversation. You wouldn't say that's because I'm white, and I asked you like why you have different assumptions. Hey, overnight, I don't think I've been able to make a single statement without your very annoying.
We should play
weasel
back this whole
ass
conversation.
interrupting me. Do you have the ability to possess a spine? Do you have the ability to
Do I
not
have
be
the
a
ability
weasel?
to possess a spine?
Do you have the
Dude,
ability
that's
to not be
great.
so annoying?
Parker,
Yeah,
Can you
call
answer the
for
question?
Parker. I'm gonna go to repeat what I said without you interrupting me this time, please, dear God.
you playing your guitar. Parker, can you
He's-
answer that question?
Oh, you
that
know
I
what?
asked?
Hey, guess what? Now you get to go back down to the comment section. Boom, get banished. 5 minutes of fame are over. See how that works? Yeah, pull rank. Yeah, try it. Try your best. Tell me to keep playing my guitar. I will keep playing my guitar in peace. Guess what? Now you're irrelevant again. 5 minutes of fame are over. Must suck. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Banned. Let's go to get that last guest, Sam, up in the stream.
In the meantime,
Hello?
everyone, make sure to like the stream.
Hello?
On TikTok, let's get to 5 million likes, everyone. That's kind of fucking nuts. And Laura, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Get some W's for Laura in the comment section right now for the $50. Thank you so much for good job keeping your cool. Thank you so much, Laura.
Hello?
I really appreciate it.
Hello?
Sam, what's up? Do you
Yeah,
support
what's
Trump?
No, but can I just like say this really quick? I just want to say thank you guys for what you do. I
Thank
have
you.
autism, and it's like my family members when I was younger used to kind of make fun of my crash outs when I would talk about politics or whatever, and I just felt like I was really defenseless and everything, and they kind of would just like some of my cousins would just really say some nasty things to me, and this is so stupid, but because I'm 21 now, but it's like now I actually feel like I have something to stand on thanks to your videos and live streams, and I really know that might sound stupid,
Sam.
but it's
It doesn't.
Back
It's,
in like
I
2021,
really appreciate that.
Back in 2021 and 2022, I'd see your videos all the time.
oh okay, so you know who I am, but yeah, so I back when I was famous or whatever for chalk or whatever, but so I don't know if that's like weird, but it's like I just thank you. That 14-year-old autistic boy who didn't know how to defend himself is very thankful for both of you, and yeah, even though TikTok isn't really what I do anymore, I just appreciate you both.
Sam, you're awesome. I hope you have a good rest
Appreciate
of
you,
your day.
Sam.
man.
And
Thank-
also,
thank you
I
for
wanted to
popping
say my aunt says she actually used to be a diehard Trump fan, and now she really has changed her views thanks to you guys.
up. Dude, that's awesome.
That's amazing. That's so
awesome.
amazing to
That's so
hear.
cool.
I'm so happy to hear
Mhm.
that, Sam. Thank you so much. Seriously, that's
Anyway, thank you
hearing
guys
Stuff like that
so
really
much.
keeps me going.
Anyway, sorry, I sound like I'm getting emotional. I kind of am, but it's just like I don't know. Just if you guys were around 8th grade, that boy would have been very happy.
Sam, I want
I
you to
appreciate you,
have
Sam.
the best rest of your day possible. Thank you so much for popping up. It means the
Oh,
absolute
thank you.
world to me. And
Thank you.
keep
Sorry.
doing you, man.
Sorry.
Take care.
All right, thank you.
Shout
I
out
was
to
like,
Sam.
that hits. Literally, like 8-year-old, 8th grade me too. Literally.
Shout out to Sam, guys. Show Sam some love down below in the comment section.
W's for Sam in the comments.
Honestly, I may just end my stream on that good note.
That is a good note to end it on.
I think it is. Are you planning to go live?
Yep, I'm gonna be live right now.
Great. Where are you going?
I'll start on this account, and if it ends up getting any like lag or anything, I'll probably go on my girlfriend's account.
Are you on your main?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Hey, well, first and foremost, for the 8.2 thousand people in the TikTok stream, make sure to hit that follow button on your way out and turn on those post notifications. I do these live streams every day, 7 days a week for 4 hours. I'm on here debating Trump supporters. And it's pretty like interesting to watch over time, I guess, because, like the general arguments that we hear from Trump supporters have been changing, as well as it's been a lot harder to find Trump supporters recently. And I think like that's really valuable because it shows that, MAGA's kind of losing steam, right? As well as everybody watching over on the YouTube stream, make sure to drop a sub if you're new, drop a like on that stream. And if you want to continue to watch some debates, please feel free to raid Mr. Parker down here. He's going to be live on TikTok at Parker Get a Job, live on YouTube at Parker Get a Job as well. And I'm going to go to an end for now. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, peace and love. Have a good night, everyone. Take care, Parker.
Peace out. Peace out. Have a good night, man.
1 second. There it goes. Bye, guys.